Well, welcome to Darling Stadium on Friday night, October 6, 2017 for Friday Night Football. This is Frank Edgar coming to you from the stadium with Wube Gabre, and we've got a ball game tonight featuring the Phoebus Phantoms and the Bethel Bruins. Wube, first time we've seen the Phantoms this year, but they come in with a great record.
First time we've seen them, but we've seen this act before, Frank. 5-0 going into this game. You know, they had a big win against Lake Taylor last week over in Norfolk. So it'll be interesting to see if Bethel can maintain, you know, somewhat of a chance to win this game. You know, with a 2-4 record, you know, they had some tough losses early in the season against Maury and Kickintan. So this is going to be a tough test for the Bethel Bruins.
Well, the last time we saw Bethel was a couple of weeks ago. They played the Hampton Crabbers, got beat 22-6. Didn't play that poorly, but couldn't generate enough offense, and then they've had the same problem the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they just couldn't score. They lost 20-0 to Gloucester. Couldn't get in the end zone against Gloucester. And actually, that game was 36-6. Hampton beat them.
Right.
So you know, I think you alluded to off camera. They've only scored 6 points in the last 2 weeks. That won't get you many wins anywhere, any league, any level. So they have to get some points. They're going to make a quarterback change today. They're going to put Jonathan Beverly in the game for Kendall Hunt. So we'll see if that makes a difference tonight.
Well, speaking of Beverly, his father, Coach William Beverly, we were able to grab him before the game, and he was courteous enough to talk with us, even though he's in a tough part of the season. We were able to grab him, and he shed some insight on the Bruins.
I'm here with head football coach William Beverly of Bethel High School. Coach Beverly, welcome back to Darling Stadium and to Friday Night Football.
Yes, sir.
Got a big game tonight.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Our kids are excited. I think we're prepared, and we're looking forward to a great game this evening.
Well, you got a challenger one tonight in the Phoebus Phantoms. What do you expect out of Phoebus?
Well, we know that they're going to be coming hard. We know they're going to be extremely aggressive. They're going to be disciplined. Coach Blount has done a great job of disciplining those kids and getting them to buy into his system. So we're excited for the challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
You and I last talked, you were 2-2 a couple of weeks ago. You're 2-4 now. What haven't you liked about what you've seen the last 2 weeks, and what do you expect to do better tonight?
Well, we've been very inconsistent, and we haven't been able to put points on the board offensively. So we made some changes offensively. We're going to do some things a little differently, kind of slow it up a little bit and try to manage the game versus trying to overcome one deficit with a big play and do a little bit more managing of the game. So we're excited. We got some young guys up front. We start 5 sophomores up front, so those kids will be coming back. Our center is actually the only senior on the front line. So, you know, we're excited about what's coming, but we need some wins right now.
Now, for the fans at home, if they see, what will they see out of Bethel Bruins tonight that would make you happy?
Well, what I would love to see is us to finish. You know, we've had a lot of drives that end inside of the red zone, and I'm looking forward to seeing our kids be able to finish and show that perseverance is necessary to get it done. So if they can finish a drive offensively and then be able to close out and get off the field on third down defensively, I'm excited.
Well, you know, the playoff system that's in place right now allows you to make the playoffs still. Have you talked to the boys about that?
Well, our goal from the beginning of the year was to make the playoffs and move through the region and to win the state, and that hasn't changed. And we've emphasized to our kids that those goals are still in reach. Last year, the state championship team that actually beat Phoebus was 5-5 when they went into the playoffs. So we pointed that out to them, and they got hot at the right time. They made some changes along the way, and they went on to win the state championship in 3A. So it can be done. You just have to have your mind made up and show some perseverance to see it through.
Well, very good. I know you have your mind made up. I'm sure the guys are ready to follow you. Good luck tonight. Coach William Beverly, Bethel High School.
Well, good to hear from Coach Beverly, and you can see it's a little warm out here at Darling Stadium, at least before the sun went down. It's cooling down nicely here. You see the band from Phoebus coming in, and the band is going to precede the 5-0 Phantoms. They're off to a great start. They got a sophomore quarterback, Chris Daniels.
Chris Daniels was the JV quarterback last year, came up on varsity late in the season, but he's looked good so far, Frank. He's done a great job of managing the games, and he's had to make a few throws downfield, and he's done a great job of that so far in this early part of the season.
Well, we were able to catch up with head coach Jeremy Blount of the Phoebus Phantoms, and Coach Blount's able to share with us a little insight on his season so far.
I'm here with Phoebus High School coach Jeremy Blount. Coach Blount, your first time on Friday Night Football. Good to have you here. And what do you expect out of tonight's game with the Bethel Bruins?
It's going to be one of those things. First inter-city game, so we know those guys are going to come out ready to go, and so are we. Should make fun for a nice Friday night.
Well, you've got a team that a lot different from last year. You lost some pretty good players from last year's team. Have you been able to fill their spots? And if so, what are the fans going to see?
Yeah, we have. Every year we work on keeping ourselves in a position where we have young guys ready to step in come that following year. So we prepped some guys last year. We hit it hard this offseason. The guys really bought into the offseason regiment. And so far we've been able to put together some things and just focus on our mantra, just winning each day.
Now tell me a little bit about your sophomore quarterback.
Young man, very poised. He's a great ball player, and he commands a lot of respect. The guys love him and they trust him, and the kid just flat out can play the game. He's a kid that's been groomed to do it since birth. His dad's a coach, and the kid's been he's been pretty spectacular for us and stepping in, filling in at that role.
Now you had a pretty good safety last year in Jonathan Gregory. How have you filled his big shoes?
Well, we move our outside linebacker, Darryl Bryant, back to strong safety, and we still have Damian Charity from last year, who was a standout player for us last year as well. So he's been able to lead those guys back there along with Darryl Bryant, and we have some nice young corners that stepped in and been able to fill in that role at the cornerback position. So our secondary, our guys really buy into what we do and the aggressive style of play and the lockdown coverage and the understanding of assignments. And they've been able to show that week in and week out. We played a number of different teams that pose threats due to their philosophy. It's fundamental football, and our DBs have to, they have to change what they do week in and week out just based off of who we play. And our guys have adapted well to it based off of playing a wing T team in Woodside and then a triple option team, veer option team in Lake Taylor. We play lockdown defense, and that comes with buy-in, hard work and buy-in.
In that game you mentioned against Lake Taylor last week, a 25-6 win for your team over in Norfolk. Has that made your team better?
We knew we were going to have to go play. Those guys are going to be great every year, just as are we. So, you want to put yourself against, guys that are going to give you great competition and push you to the limit. It's one of those things our guys have understood that you got to take it one game at a time. So where Lake Taylor was a big game for us, every game is a big game. There has been no one defining moment for this year outside of our approach to every game. And to me, that defining moment came in the offseason when the guys committed themselves to the offseason and everything that it entails. So as long as our guys can continue to focus on what's important, team, sacrifice the commitment level, and then just focus on one day at a time, winning each day, we'll be in a good position.
Well, very good. It's great to see you back here at Darling Stadium. Good luck tonight. Coach Jeremy Blount.
We're about ready to go here right before the game. The national anthem, Phoebus Phantom Marching Band.
Thank you very much.
Good sound from the Phoebus band tonight, and we're going to march off the field now. Actually, the colors presented by the Marine Corps Junior ROTC over at Phoebus. A little warm out there to be in full uniform tonight, and certainly the band in the color guard.
Yes, it is.
Feeling it?
And like you always alluded to, Frank, they practice just like the football team. The cheerleaders do the same. So it's good to see the whole contingent of extracurricular activities out here on this Friday night at Darlington.
Well, we've seen our friend Vivian, who's a friend of our daughter's, that's out here taking photographs for the Phoebus yearbook. We're real proud of her out here. She's actually discovered the higher up spot here and taking a few pictures. But I'm sure she's working very hard and doing something she hasn't done before. And I bet the Phoebus yearbook will be very nicely covered, or at least this game will be very nicely covered.
You see her all over the field. She came up here and was amazed on the view.
On the view.
So it's good for her.
Hope to have more fans here tonight. The fans, if you're watching us during the week, we sure enjoy having you watch. There's Vivian right there. Yep, the young lady taking pictures of her team coming through the tape out there. The Phoebus cheerleaders had lined up.
And you said your daughter played softball with her.
It's softball.
My daughter went to middle school with her, so it's good to see her doing something out there.
Oh, I love the photography and the programs in the schools. Steve Fryer, a great field cameraman, back in action here and down getting that Phoebus charge through the line. Phoebus used to have a very proud pregame ceremony, lots of music, some smoke machines and things. They've toned it down a little bit, but they still have the phantom pride as they come through the little banner into the cheerleader run and make their way to the bench. Yeah,
that was awesome when the smoke, the sound effects and everything was great. It was a great atmosphere back then.
Well, we heard Jeremy Blount talk about his team and some of his new players, in particular his sophomore quarterback, but you'll notice that even Coach Blount doesn't call his quarterback by name very often. That what he does, he has parts. We have our officials tonight. Speaking of great teams, we have a team of officials tonight. Jim Mayhew is our referee tonight. Zach Ray, the umpire. Bobby Golaski, the linesman. Lewis Watson, the line judge. Ivy Allen, the field judge. Sean Whitfield, the side judge. Ben Price, the back judge. And the clock usually tonight is Herman Drone.
It's Mr. George Adamowski tonight.
Oh, very good.
My former neighbor. Huh?
George he's having a fit with the controls tonight, trying to get that working here. There's always an art here, and Herman is our usual clock handler. You see the cheerleaders and dancers come off along between the drum line, and then you'll see the Phantoms come to the field. The Bethel Bruins have not yet come to the field. They're at the end waiting for their cheerleaders to line up, so both teams will collide in their pregame ceremonies. The Phantoms, as I said, Jeremy Blount's got spotty fills, and he's done so very well over the last 2 years. You know, the Phantoms have won in this particular century. I had them marked down for 7 state championships, including 4 in a row from 2008 to 2011. And Jeremy Blount actually played in the 2001 state championship, the first one under Coach Bill D, the first Phoebus High School state football title. They have become a powerhouse under Coach D, and Coach D's traditions have carried on through Jeremy Blount. You'll see his squad come on now in a very Phoebus-like approach to entering the game.
Yeah, both teams went to their respective schools, played at their respective schools, and now they're coaching. So that's always good to see them come back. Of course, Coach Beverly played for Coach Kaz at Bethel, and like you said, Coach Blount played for the late, great Coach Bill D at Phoebus. So, again, it's great to see them come back to their alma maters and try to keep the tradition and the legacy going at their respective schools.
Well, they've done well. A big game for Phoebus in that they want to win and become 6-0, so they can face the Hampton Crabbers right here next Saturday. That's Saturday, October 14th at 2 p.m. here at Darlington Stadium, so mark that on your calendar. We are going to cover that, of course. The broadcast will not be live, and so come and sit in the stand and go home and watch yourself on TV. They want to become 6-0. For Coach Beverly and his Bruins, they want to win, and they want to win badly. They're going to change quarterbacks tonight. Number 6 there, you see coming out with the Bruins is Captain John Beverly, Coach's son, 5'11", 180-pounder. He's going to get his first start tonight at quarterback, and I know from what we heard from Coach Beverly, he's going to make a lot of changes out there, trying to find that combination that can score some points.
Yeah, sometimes change is good, Frank. Some people aren't that fond of change, but I think the change needed to be made at quarterback. You know, nothing against Kendall Hunt. You know, he's coming off an ACL injury from what it looked like in Florida. I heard he wasn't all the way fully healed, and maybe that took a little something out of it.
Good example is if you make a big tackle on somebody, get back to your defensive huddle and celebrate there. Don't stand over top of that guy and belittle him or draw attention to yourself, okay? And get you guys helping and stuff like that. Sportsmanship's a big issue, guys. I need your help. All right, the other thing I want to talk about is penalty enforcement. False starts, encroachments, those are automatics. I don't need to talk to the captain. We'll mark those off and keep the game moving, okay? But the live ball penalties, some of them have as many as 3 options. I'm going to give you the option that I think is best for your team first. Doesn't mean you have to take that, okay? If I go all the way through it and you're still not sure, just ask me to repeat it if you don't understand something. I have no problem if you look across at the coach and ask him if he wants you to penalty or not. But we can't take all day to do that. Everybody understand? Once you make a choice, I got to go. Okay. We had an early toss. Bethel called heads, and it was, and you chose to defer, correct? Okay, so right here.
Bethel has won the toss and has deferred the option to the second half.
Here, you guys back that way.
Phoebus going to receive the ball to start the half.
All right, guys, let's go get it.
Phoebus will be receiving.
Well, we'll see quarterback Chris Daniels right away. Wu Bei, the sophomore quarterback for the Phoebus Phantoms. He's got 2 great backs behind him. Daquan Fleming and Daniel Wright. Wright, the senior, 225-pound running back. He's a powerhouse. And then just a bevy of talented receivers led by Barry Hargrave, this week's Daily Press Player of the Week after his performance last week against the Lake Taylor Titans.
Great performance last week against Lake Taylor. And you talked about Daniels. He's a young quarterback. Anytime you have a young quarterback, the recipe for success to have a great running game to complement that. And he has 2 great backs, Wright and Fleming. They played last year. They're experienced. And then, of course, you have Charity on the outside who has some scholarship, some Division I scholarship offers, and Hargrave, who Coach Blount talked about last year, Frank. And he had his coming out party, I guess, against Lake Taylor last week. So he's young, he's a junior, but he's stepping up in a big role this year.
Well, he had a 90-yard touchdown reception last week, coupled with an 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against the Phantoms' rival, the Lake Taylor school. So a big game last week. Phoebus comes in on a high. Bethel comes in on a low note, but could be a season changer right here for the Bruins. If they get a win tonight and upset the Phoebus Phantoms, their season looks a lot better than it does at the moment.
Yeah.
So here's the kicker for the Bethel Bruins. Ethan Larson's going to kick off. Bethel in the home or the away whites, they have several jerseys, so the numbers sometimes don't match up. But this is Larson.
So it's going to kick off to Fleming, and it's going to go out of bounds. And, of course, in high school, that goes to the 40-yard line.
Not a great start there for the Bruins at kicking it out of bounds. I know they're trying to kick away from some of those guys back to receive the kick for Phoebus, but that puts the ball up really near midfield.
Yeah.
Jim Mayhew tinkering with his microphone there.
Dead ball. Illegal kick by
You
Bethel.
can hear him
5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Oh, they're going 5-yard it and kick it again. All right.
It's going to be a re-kick, Frank. Interesting that Phoebus didn't want to take it at the 40. So they're going to give Fleming and Hargrave another opportunity to return this.
Well, Larson will come out and kick it again. The Phantoms
Larson
get ready.
Soccer players, a lot of these football coaches do. They go to the soccer team and get some soccer players to do the kicking. He's a pretty good soccer player over at Bethel.
Well, you look in the back there. That's Fleming, number 5, and Hargrave, again, the player of the week in the Daily Press, number 4. And he is lightning in a bottle. And when he gets sparked like he did last week, those 2 long touchdowns last week, lead the Phantoms to really a surprise really in the size of the win for the Phantoms. They got a 25-6 win against Lake Taylor.
Yeah, Lake Taylor might be a little down. It still was a signature win for Phoebus. We'll see what happens tonight.
Well, short kick called for a fair catch there on the 30 by the Phantom number 22, Corey Wilson. The sophomore gets on the scorebook.
You look at these rosters, Frank. what stood out to me was the youth, sophomore, freshman on Phoebus. Of course, Bethel has a couple sophomores that start, so the future is definitely bright for both of these teams.
Well, the game's going to be made to line. The offense for the Phantoms, Jamal Waheed, Donovan Cooper, Tim Young, Cameron Wilson, and Terrence Slade up front. Barry Hargrave, Damian Charity, and DeQuandre Edwards are the receivers. Wright and Fleming the backs, and Chris Daniels, your sophomore quarterback, wearing number 10. Young man's 5'9", 175 pounds.
So you got Daniels under center, Fleming and Wright behind him. Hargrave goes in motion. I'm sorry, that's Edwards in motion. Daniels fumbles the snap. Looks like it's going to be picked up by Bethel. First play of the game, Bethel gets a turnover. Interesting.
It is. So the fumble there on the snap, hard to see whether it was bad timing or just dropped by Daniels. But again, one leadoff mistake by the Phantoms. Give the Bruins the ball on the Phantom 30.
See if anybody, no, that's
just dropped it.
That's just Tim Young. And Daniels not on the same page on that. First play from scrimmage, fumble. Bethel recovers at the 30-yard line, Frank.
I don't know if that was Marcus King or not on the recovery. It's hard to see. So 1st and 10, and here's John Beverly. Number 6 for the Bruins, gets his first start of the year, 5'11", 180-pounder.
Beverly under center, stumbles, goes to Storm, and he's stopped right away by Purdy for Phoebus.
Juan Purdy, 6 foot, 185-pound senior.
So both teams starting out shaky just on simple routine plays, and that's the snap.
The front line for the Bethel offense, one of their key components, Zuri Turner, Josh Harrod, Jackson Griffiths, Jomel Dennis, and Joseph Griffin. Griffiths, a sophomore, 6 foot, 275-pounder. He wears number 56.
So they lost a yard on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 11 from the 31. Beverly directing traffic. Taking a little time here for Beverly. Beverly back under center. He fumbles the snap. Looks like Phoebus is going to recover it.
Well, that ball is, somebody greased it, I think, before it went out there. So a fumble for Bethel gives the ball right back to the Phantoms.
So it would have been a great opportunity for Bethel. They had the ball in Phoebus territory, and 2 plays just didn't work, and the second one results in a turnover. Tough.
So we flip back all the other page. Here come the Phantoms and Chris Daniels. I'm sure Coach Blount told him to hang on to the ball a little bit longer this time.
Like you said, Frank, it is a abnormal humid night here in this first week in October.
Tim Young, the big center.
Daniels. This time it goes to Fleming. Fleming with a good gain.
That time the vortex created by Young drew Fleming right through the line. There's big number 78, Tim Young, 6'4", 300 pounds. And he went up, put his block on the middle linebacker, and that drew the back right behind him. A good start for the Phantoms, pick up almost 6 yards.
It's always comforting as a young quarterback to have a great running game, and Phoebus historically known for that, Frank.
Yeah,
going back to Anton Womack, a UVA guy, Elin Lewis, Tyree Lee, we can go on and on.
Sure makes it a lot easier for a young quarterback.
Edwards in motion. Bethel showing blitz. Daniels gets the snap, goes to Wright. Wright gets a great gain. He just tiptoes through the line.
Well, Daniel Wright, 6'1", 225, and a veteran of many campaigns with the Phantoms.
You see
Wright, yep.
So it's gonna result in a first down. Or it's gonna be, I'm sorry, it's gonna be 3rd and, looks like it's gonna be a measurement here, Frank.
Yeah,
it's gonna be short.
I talk about Devontae Robinson. He ended up underneath Wright. Robinson, 6'1", 210. He had Wright's 225 following him on that time, but he looks okay. Just short.
About a 2 inches short.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 3rd and inches.
Crowd still a little late arriving this year, and tonight no exception. Hoping to see more fans come in. This should be a really good ball game.
So 3rd and inches from the was at the 38-yard line. Daniels, quarterback keeper, he's going to get it easily.
Well, that time Young snapped the ball. He was downfield. If used to be that old play, Wu Bei, where the center would snap it, touch the quarterback's hands, and run with it.
Yeah.
Center sneak, right? Yeah, center sneak. That was outlawed on many of the vacant lots in With after a while, but yes.
We tried that a lot when I was growing up.
Tim Young would have picked up 5 that time. Instead, they pick up about 4 and pick up the first down.
So first down for Phoebus. Same set for Phoebus on offense. Wright and Fleming in the backfield. They're going to go back to the run. This time it's Fleming. And you just go behind Wright and that big offensive line.
That time, number 70 for the Phantoms, Donovan Cooper, made the pull. May have missed the block a little bit. 35 for the Phantoms was able to bring them down that time. Again, these numbers, we have to check to be sure which type we have here. That was Corey Johnson with the tackle.
There's another young sophomore.
35, yeah.
So it's a gain of 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6. This time it's a flag. Fleming gets the nice gain, but that might come back.
I think so. That flag's like in the area of holding. Young had his man sealed. I think it had been the left guard that had the hold. We can see it again. We can pick it up. You see Big Tim Young there, 78. 70 is Donovan Cooper, who's outweighed by 66 pounds
Holding
by Young.
on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the
So
foul.
holding on that front line. They're going to bring it back.
And of course, Coach Blount, it's the one thing he's been concerned about so far. Even though they are 5-0, penalties have really killed them this year.
There's a hold right there. That's Cooper, I believe, number 70. He's got a hold of Bethel's number 22, Chris Holliday. A lot of changes in that lineup tonight for Bethel, and Coach Beverly promised that. Here's Daniels in the shotgun.
That's right. And the man's going to go back to pass. A little rollout by Daniels. He has nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped. Good play by the Bethel defense.
Great hustle out there.
Like Saunders was in on that hit.
Yeah, Marquis Spencer was the man you saw chasing him. Spencer, listed as a wide receiver that time, just came charging in from the far side.
So Bethel got the early turnover. They were not able to connect. The defense could get a stop here to be a great momentum builder as you see the replay here.
Here comes Spencer. And lays the wood on him. Good play. He's joined on the tackle by Jonathan Saunders, number 32. You'll hear Saunders' name called frequently.
So it's going to be 3rd and 20, Frank, from the 37. As Edwards and Hargrave are on the far side. Fleming is here on the near side. Daniels back to pass. Has a little room. He's going to throw it. It's going to be complete. Good throw.
And
that's going to be a first down.
What a catch. Good coverage out there by the Bruins, number 21, Jaquan Penzer. But Penzer not good enough to block that one. It was a great fingertip
Oh, man,
catch.
great throw. Good gain as we get a good look at the young quarterback Daniels, Frank.
Let's say I'd love to see that one again and see the fingertips on that catch. Good play. So the Phantoms moving in the Bethel zone. They're at the Bethel 33.
Get a good look at Daniels under Tim Young, the center. That might be a false start. No flag.
No flag. I thought Cooper jumped that time, but says it's a hard-nosed run over the left side behind Cooper. And here come the Phantoms lining up. They're going to go.
I thought maybe.
Yeah, he did move, yep. Wright again. You see the strength of Wright. Bethel's number 9. Devontae Robertson just hanging on.
So it's a gain of 6. It's going to be 2nd and 4. This back to Fleming. Short gain.
The left side of the line looks like they're getting out early, but they're clearing out. That time the back didn't follow them. Bethel's big number 62, Darrell Taylor, 6'4", 275. A few of the Phantom players.
So it was a short gain. It's going to be a huge third down here. The last third down, Phoebus was able to connect on a long pass. This is a little shorter. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Daniels. He's going to fake the run. I'm sorry, he's going to get a pass. Wide open. That's Bryant again. He just caught the last one. And that's going to be a penalty. The Storm didn't realize where he was on the field.
So the great catch made by the Phantoms, number 7, Darrell Bryant. Good hands out there for the big man. Bryant 5'11", 194. So that's going to move the ball down to the 5, I believe. There's a Phoebus crowd.
And you always wonder, Frank, with the...
After the play, personal foul. Late hit by the defense. We'll go half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
1st and goal from the 5.
I was getting ready to say, you always wonder, with a big game looming next week, what's the mindset of a team like a Phoebus to see you looking ahead and not respecting Bethel. I'm sure they respect it. I'm sure all the coaches have talked about that.
Their mindset right now is give it to number 5.
And that's what they do. Yep. Fleming outside. Can he get the outside? Yes. Almost. Did he get in?
I'm not sure he did.
He was short.
Yep.
Look, he slowed up a little bit when he got to the goal line.
Kept stepping sideways, trying to get around that last defender.
There's like a flag on the play. Could be a hold.
Good face, stiff arm there. Nice hanging on, though, by the Bruins, number 11, Sultan Williams. Flag right at the line of scrimmage.
Like a chop block, I believe, on that.
Here comes Jim Mayhew to tell us it's going to be moved back.
We had an illegal chop block by the offense.
That's a 2-man block,
penalty.
basically. One low, one high, and they catch that one every time. That hurts the Phantoms. They move back to their own 20.
Man, that's a huge penalty.
All right, we'll wind this.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 20.
So no score here with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And this is what Bethel wanted, to keep it close as long as they can.
Then he wants to finish.
And then they had a early turnover they weren't able to connect on. So this is a huge, huge drive here. It's a 2nd and goal from the 20. Daniels. And Bethel jumps off sides on a 2nd and goal from the 20.
Snap. Encroachment by the defense.
So the Bruins
penalty.
hurt themselves.
Remains 1st down.
So now, 1st and 15, or 1st and goal from the 15.
Yeah. As Bethel just gave them 5 yards. Daniels under center. Goes back to pass. Good protection. Goes in the end zone. It's going to be incomplete.
Nice pass to Hargrave. He couldn't come up with it. Daniels threw the ball the only place he could. And just a little bit too low. On the coverage there was Bethel's number 4. Kashawn Storm.
So it's going to be second down now from the 15. 2nd and goal from the 15. Here's another look at the pass. Oh, yeah, you're right, Frank. Great throw.
In fact, he almost caught it. If Storm may have had an arm and was able to disrupt Hargrave.
Same formation. As Daniels goes under center. Goes to right. Right has a huge hole. He fumbles at the goal line, and Bethel looks like they hopped on it, and they did.
So Wright comes in. He's following the tide there. His blocker, Cameron Wilson, 5'11", 280. All he had to do was get on his back.
Fumble on the
But
play
instead, he
was
gives up the
recovered
ball.
by
Bethel
in the
pounces
end
on it
zone.
in the end zone.
Results in a
It's a
touchback.
touchback. 1st and 10, Bethel from the 20.
That's 2 turnovers, Frank. 2 turnovers. So Bethel is doing their part on defense. They just have to get the ball down the field on offense. Just get a look at the replay here.
Watch Wilson, number 54. He leads him right in there, and then he looks to see where he is.
And look at the resiliency of Storm.
Yeah, Storm with his 2nd great play in a row. He was able to knock that ball out of Hargrave's hands.
But you're right. Wilson looked back and said, "Where are you?"
Yeah, he wanted to know why he wanted riding him in there.
That was nice. So 1st and 10 from the 20 after the turnover. Beverly's back in the quarterback.
We'll see what John Beverly can do here. He's got a little second life here.
As a flag is on the play. Might be a delay or.
It looks like a
Dead
delay,
ball.
so another penalty. That's
Delay of game against the
15
offense.
yards
5-yard
now
penalty.
total against Bethel. Of course, Phoebus 25 with 2 penalties. Well, again, a new quarterback sometimes it takes a minute to get everything straight. And he's going to be.
So Beverly in shotgun. Storm in motion. Goes to Storm on a sweep. As obvious blocking call.
Yeah, maybe a hold out there on the play, but that's the Phantoms number 8, DeQuandre Edwards in the bottom of that pile. He's the one that got held, and he's the one that made the tackle. Nice play by Edwards.
You get a good look at Daniel Wright and Chris Daniels. Here's the replay. Good play by
It
Storm.
opens up
Good
nicely,
hold.
but there's a block in the back there by number 85 of the Bruins,
It's Luster.
Antoine Luster. Jim Mayhew's going to confirm that. No, it's
Blocked in the back by the offense.
So Bethel
10-yard penalty. We'll go
penalties
six,
have really
half
done
yard
them in
distance to
this
the goal.
so far in the first
Replay,
half.
first down.
So that costs them 7.5 yards. So the Bruins moving the wrong way here with this turnover that they recovered in the end zone. They're about to give it back in the same spot. Beverly with the play. He's going to have to just settle them down.
Have to make sure no turnovers here for Bethel. Like you said, a new quarterback takes a little time to get adjusted. I'm sure he had a full go in practice, but practice is practice, and this is the game. So 1st and 15. And it looks like
Beverly just going to try to run it
just kept
himself. Yeah. Not going very far against that Phoebus line. He does get through the initial opening. It looks like Purdy there at the very end. Juan Purdy, number 84. Kareem Wilson getting credit for that tackle too, number 34. Nice block there by the center. Jamel Dennis actually with the block there, number 50 was the left. He is the center, isn't he? With Griffiths on his left, big number 56, the sophomore.
Austin Smith also on the offensive line, along with Harrod. It's Beverly under center. This time he pitches it to Storm. Storm has a good crease, good cut up by Storm, but those DBs over at Phoebus as they swarm on the ball.
They do. It was a nice block by the Bruin that was just laying on the ground. He was knocked down and able to catch a block and caught the Phantom number 34, Kareem Wilson, slowed him down a little bit. Picked up a few yards. Still they're at the 16, looking to get back to the original line of scrimmage, was at the 20.
So it's going to be 3rd down now for Bethel. Just get a good look at the replay.
3rd and 14.
So here goes Storm around the corner. You see the block on the ground there, knocked Wilson down a little bit, but
Almost another block in the back. Luckily they didn't call it for Bethel.
tackled by 6 or 7 Phantoms. And here come the Bruins with a
So
3rd down.
3rd and 14 now is it's a huge 3rd down for Bethel. Let's see what they do. Is Phoebus jumps off sides. It's going to give them another 5 yards.
Okay.
So 5 more for the Phantoms.
Prior to the snap, encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Phantoms
Third
now
down.
with 30 yards in penalties on 3 out of 3 penalties. Coach Jeremy Blount there, as you see him in front of the player with the helmet.
So it's going to be 3rd and 9 from around the 20, 21-yard line.
Good shot of John Beverly.
Coach's son. Goes to Storm. Storm had a hole. That's another flag. Might be another hold.
Another
coming
hold,
back.
I think, yeah. That was probably going to be declined. And so Storm doing all the ball carrying. So, as I said, heard in the booth, a sloppy game so far from both squads. And a little warm, a little humid tonight. Not quite as cool as it's been the last couple of weeks. But, and then we saw the ball a little slippery.
Holding by the offense. That penalty's declined. Brings up.
That's what I thought they'd decline it and just get the down off the board.
So the two turnovers, Bethel isn't able to capitalize. So I guess it's fourth down.
Fourth and about 5. And I can't believe they're going for it.
Yeah, I don't think they realized it was 4th down, yeah.
So timeout here by the Bethel Bruins. Well, so we had the games up, Wu Bay, from the last couple of weeks. Hope people have been able to see those. We're on Facebook as well, are we not? At LSC 48,
yep.
Hampton City Schools, and hope you catch our videos on YouTube as well. We thank you for watching. I want to send a shout out to Ms. Bump again. She and I talked this week, the Bethel High School supporter and wonderful provider of food in our first night. I want to thank her for her comments and thank her for being a supporter of LSC. And I also want to thank Gary Nace for approaching me the night down at Van Costa's, which is a restaurant nearby, a sponsor of the sports here. Great food down there at Van Costa's. And Gary Nace, who lives over in Wythe, came up to see me, and I really enjoyed hearing his view. He brings his grandson to these games, introduces his grandson to high school sports, and I was very pleased to hear that. Need more young people out here on Fridays and Saturdays to see these guys play and see the band play and see the cheerleaders do their thing. Just a great time here in Hampton on the weekends. Thank you both, Gary and Ms. Bump. I appreciate that.
It's great to hear positive feedback.
So punting now.
Like it's going to be Larson. Gets the punt off. And it's going to be caught at midfield. And he has some blockers on the near side to take a huge hit.
As Phoebus is number 9, Bryce Bailey, the senior, 5'8", 165, very quick.
And it's another penalty, late hit for Bethel.
Well, Bethel shooting themselves in the foot here with the penalties. The officials getting as much a workout as anybody tonight. Certainly no flow of the game yet. Dead ball personal foul against the Bruins.
A long quarter.
It's only a 15-yarder too.
Still first quarter, 1:25 left in the quarter.
30, almost 40 yards in penalties for the Bruins, and we're still in the first quarter.
After the play, personal foul.
Good picture of Bailey coming this way, pointing with the ball, telling him to get some blocks. Good stick right there.
First down for Phoebus.
And he could have just let up, and I don't know.
Had maybe that last one right there on Bethel's number 35. Not a smart play there. That cost his team.
Well, we saw Reese Toussaint on special teams. Haven't seen him on offense or defense yet. Maybe that's part of what Beverly was making some switches. Is Fleming gets the ball and Saunders gets him in the backfield. Good play by Jonathan Saunders, the senior for Bethel.
We thought we'd see him called, his name called tonight. Good tackle there.
So Daniels has thrown when he needed to, but it's been the Fleming and Wright show so far for Phoebus.
Was Jeremy Blount.
Of course, we talked about it. He's a Phoebus grad, played for Coach Bill D, now coaching the Phantoms. Got them at 5-0 midway through the season. Big win against Lake Taylor. Big game tonight and a huge game next week against the Crabbers.
Saturday afternoon game.
You see Fleming talking to Daniels. It's going to be 2nd and 13 as Fleming gets it, and Bethel's defense swarms again. They're doing a great job up front.
Griffiths at the bottom there, number 56 for the Bruins. Jackson Griffiths, the sophomore, 6 foot, 275 pounder. They got high hopes for that young man. That time Fleming, I'm sure he didn't say, hey, I want to take and get tackled for a 2-yard loss. I don't know what he saw, but he thought he saw a hole that did not develop.
And it's, this could be the last, that could have been the last play of the quarter as the time is winding down. And that's going to do it. It's going to be the end of the quarter.
So really a lot of effort by the officials in the first quarter. They pretty much control the half, I would say. And the officials lead, well, let's see, 9-0 in the number of calls tonight. I think there have been more plays with penalties than there have been plays without penalties. So a very sloppy start.
Very uncharacteristic of Game 5. You would think maybe in the first couple games you would see that, but with 5 games already, with both teams playing almost half of their season, you wouldn't think you would see this many penalties. Coach Blount has already talked about that early on in the season, how the penalties have really kicked him around. So he's trying to change that, and Bethel has had a lot of penalties as well. So hopefully in this, the rest of the game they can make some changes and we can avoid a lot of the penalties that we've seen so far.
Let's talk about Coach. Coach Beverly's got to be pleased. He's going to be furious at how anemic his offense has been. But he's got to be very pleased that he's in a 0-0 ball game with a quarter out of the way. If he could be going in the fourth quarter with 2 zeros on that board, he'd be thrilled. And then he would try to finish it like he told us in the interview.
Great point. They had a great opportunity on this one end down here. The first play of the game, they had a fumble, and then they turned it right back over. Then they stopped a touchdown down here when Wright fumbled on the goal line. So the defense has come to play, but they have to continue this as it's going to be 3rd and 13.
Daniels in the shotgun.
Daniels shotgun. As usual, Wright is in the backfield. They split Fleming out. Good rush by Bethel. Daniels almost got away from it, but the Bethel defense is there once again, Frank.
That was, and I'm looking at, that was number 32 that time, Jonathan Saunders, whose name we've called plenty already. But he bumped down Daniels with his hip.
So let's see what Phoebus does here on this 4th down.
They're going to go for it.
And why not? Defense playing well. We're not sure if Anthony Wallace, the kicker, is able to kick that, but
I think for the Phantoms, they're going to go ahead and go for it here.
So it's at the around the 24-yard line. 4th and 16. Daniels will be in the shotgun with Wright. He has Charity and Fleming near side. Bailey and Hargrave far side. As Daniels rolls out, he's going to get hit as he throws. It's going to be incomplete. Bethel will take over on downs.
Well, once again, Bethel's number 3, Marquise Spencer, the wide receiver playing on the corner tonight, pressures the quarterback, and I know he could hear those footsteps coming. That time just threw the ball too far out of bounds for the receiver. But great defense from the wide receiver. So a change that Coach Beverly said he was going to make, one of them is having Spencer in there to play the corner.
He took Hunt out. We haven't seen King. We haven't seen Toussaint, the guy that he raved about early in the season. We're not sure what happened in practice. He's made some changes, and so far so good for Bethel.
So 1st and 10 for the Bruins from their own, was it 23?
So now Beverly in shotgun with Storm. He goes to Storm in the draw. Phoebus is right there. Looks like he's going to maybe lose a yard.
Or 3. Yeah, they may need to open this thing up a little bit by throwing the ball.
As we see Toussaint, their playmaker. He's in there now for Bethel.
So 2nd down, Bruins going backwards again for the 2nd drive in a row. This time, though, just a play that didn't work. Stuck right there by the Phantom lineman.
So loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from Bethel at the 22. Beverly was going to go back to pass, but
and they moved again. Bethel's moved again, yeah.
Prior to the snap, false start.
6th penalty on Bethel.
5-yard penalty. Play.
35, 42 and a half yards penalized, but just the timing's been horrible. So not a good start there. 2nd down in about 17 now, 16 or 17 yards.
Did you see Toussaint comes near side? Didn't see him in the first quarter. He's in there. He's their playmaker. Beverly in the shotgun. It looks like he faked it, but he gave to.
I thought he was going to pull it, try to pull it out there and run it himself, but whatever it was, it didn't work. He may have, his back may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
It was Brewington Parker on the carry. So it's going to be 3rd and long for Bethel. Because I don't believe Beverly has attempted a pass. He tried to go back and throw one earlier, but they called a false start.
Well,
So
the
now-
good defensive backs from Phoebus do make it difficult, but he's going to have to try. Got to be careful. Don't want to turn the ball over here.
Shotgun, Beverly back to pass. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be complete. Good catch, but he might be a couple yards short of the first down.
A good catch and a way to, and he rolled off the defender. That's big, tall number 85 for the Bruins.
So what do you do here if you're short? This is the question for Bethel. They're going to measure. He's going to be, actually they got a good spot. That might be closer than I thought. And they're going to measure. Good throw by Beverly.
Very good throw, good catch. It's Antoine Luster wearing an 85 tonight. They're going to give it to him. Now that was the tackle. He was up on the
First
shoulders
down,
of the
Bethel.
tackler. And Luster, by rolling off of the tackler and rolling forward, picked up the first down.
Great play.
Bethel's second first down tonight.
First pass by Beverly. That was a tight throw over the middle.
I misspoke. First down, I believe, for the Bruins tonight.
So here we go. First down and 10 for Bethel. That might give Beverly some confidence.
That'll give him some breathing room at least.
Another pass by Beverly. This time it's a slant to Toussaint. It's complete. And he's still on his feet.
And Toussaint was open on the last play as well. This slant over the middle. So Reese Toussaint picks up a second first down here for the Bruins.
So again, that first pass gave Beverly some confidence, and now he finds his playmaker Toussaint on the slant over the middle. They're at around midfield. Another first down for Bethel.
We see Zuri Turner there, 6'4", 275 sophomore lineman. 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a senior on that starting line for the Bruins. All big boys.
Yes, sir. You see Storm back in at running back after a couple plays off. Beverly, so far so good for the senior quarterback, coach's son. As Phoebus shows blitz. This time they pitch it to Storm, and he almost loses it. Great play by Purdy once again.
Yeah, Purdy Bank, he had a chance of picking that thing off. A little slow developing pitch. And Purdy's in the backfield anticipating that.
If Storm gets away from Purdy, he picks up some good yardage. Nobody was near Purdy as everybody had their backs turned going downfield. But a loss on the play. Oh,
Purdy's got him.
almost. Good play
Kareem
by
Wilson and
Storm
those
just to
guys.
keep it.
Cameron Wilson closing quickly there.
So if Purdy wouldn't have made that tackle, I think Storm would have still been running. It was all green after that. So Beverly, this time to Storm on the inside, and he goes nowhere.
There's just nothing there. The Wilsons have the middle plugged up. That time, Cameron Wilson's 5'11", 280, a senior, number 54. And they just plug in the holes. The lines are blocking or holding each other up, and there's just no space in there.
As you see,
Purdy
Storm.
again.
Yeah, Purdy's all
and
over
Wilson
the place so
on the
far.
inside.
Has that same number, 84, as Deloach. Ramon Deloach
Yeah,
kind of
Ramon.
reminds me of him with the dreads hanging out of his helmet. So it's going to be a timeout, I believe, on Bethel.
Their second of the half. And they go over there and talk. We go back to that passing game.
So 0-0, Frank. I'm not going to say I'm surprised. I knew
I'm stunned.
it would be close early.
I'm very surprised, but I'm very pleased to see that Bethel is putting up quite a fight.
Yeah.
It's been a rugged and poorly, sloppily played. How about that
it has
game?
been.
But for the Bethel Bruins, they're in a tie ball game. They get one break, and a team that's looking ahead to the Hampton Crabbers next week may be in trouble.
Yeah, that's one thing you have. You know, you're dealing with young kids, and you know they know what the rivalry means. But you know that's why you have to play what's in front of you. And not saying they're looking ahead. We're not saying they are, but you know Bethel's here to play tonight. Got 2 turnovers, 2 huge turnovers. I mean, the one on the goal line was a touchdown saving.
Touchdown,
yeah. So you see.
That was Phoebus coach Dickie Van Dyke there coaching his kicker, Anthony Wallace. Van Dyke's been in with that Phoebus staff for all through their glory years.
He coaches all the kickers from the area as well. And of course, Eric Anderson was a great kicker for Phoebus. He went on to Delaware.
Well,
also
some of those
quarterback.
Newport News kickers, the Menchville, Denby kickers in the past have gone on to college careers with working with Coach Van Dyke.
Yeah, the name escapes me. I remember a couple of them that came from, I think the Christopher was one. He played somewhere, and they had a couple other kickers from Warwick. Coach Van Dyke coached both of them.
Well, here's Beverly in the shotgun. 3rd and about 18.
So another long 3rd down as Beverly has time. He's going to have to run, and he's not going to pick up much.
If you look at the receivers, I wish we could freeze the picture, but they were man-to-man coverage, and every one of them was closely covered by a Phoebus Phantom. There was nobody to throw to.
Nowhere to go.
Because Beverly had time to look, but he saw the same thing we did. Every receiver was covered very tightly. So it's got to be a sign where Coach Beverly is going to try to improve that.
So Bethel into punt. If they got 2 first downs on that drive. So Larson into punt for Bethel. Good punt as that sends Bailey back at around the 25. He has some blockers on the far side. He's going to almost break it as he gets close to midfield.
You know, Bailey doesn't get a lot of the credit over the last few years. He's been overshadowed by some, but Bryce Bailey, quite a talented young man and absolutely fearless. Bailey 5'8", 167, and fearless. Watch this run up the sideline. He gets into high gear right away.
And he doesn't get much of the credit because you have Wright and Fleming, but if he was on the other team, he'd probably be the star on any other team. But good for him to stick around. And
college recruiters will see it.
Yes.
They see it.
So Phoebus back on offense. 6:05 left in the half. 0-0 is the score. Bethel defense has come to play. They've got 2 turnovers. Daniels in shotgun. This time Hargrave in motion, gets the sweep. He has some blockers on the near side as Bethel closes in, but Hargrave gets about, what, six or seven on the play.
Good defense by Hargrave. A good defense by the Bruins on Hargrave because he is lightning, and you see him look for that hole. There he is, number 4. And then there was no hole. Good defense by the wideouts.
They closed quick as it could have been a hole.
Tyrone Newton right there, but the Bruins held yet in on the tackle, number 20. There he is.
A pickup of 8.
I'm surprised no call there.
So 2nd and 2 from the 45. So Daniels in the shotgun this time. Fleming in motion. He fakes to Fleming and goes to Wright. Wright spins and gets the first down.
Yeah, good recognition by the Bruins, just not quite quick enough to grab that quick back. That's number 62, Darrell Taylor, excuse me, Jr. Jim Schaffner, our great voice here, is Darrell.
Great tackle by Taylor.
Daniel Wright, you see, it's hard to bring down, too. I mean, 225 pounds at you, moving quickly.
So first down, Phoebus.
There's Wright.
See Wright with Daniels. Daniels back in the shotgun, doing a lot of motion this quarter. As he fakes this time. No, he gives to Fleming. Fleming goes on the outside. Had a little room. He's still on his feet. Picks up about 5 on that run.
A good play again by Tyrone Newton, who clogged the hole just by appearing there quickly on Fleming, and then Fleming tried to go to the next slot, and he was met again by Newton.
So pick up of 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 now from around the 34-yard line.
Here comes Tyrone Newton right into the camera, number 20.
Daniels, this time, he's back in the shotgun. He's been doing a lot of shotgun this quarter. So it's going to be a flag on Phoebus.
On Phoebus, yeah.
Prior to the snap, false start by the offense.
Fourth penalty
5-yard
in the Phantoms. 35 yards lost on penalties so far by my count.
So first time seeing Phoebus, but what I've heard is the penalties have been what's been their thorn.
Well, the one thing you haven't heard is a lot of thorns with this team.
Yeah.
They've come in with a 5-0 record. They beat Lake Taylor last week.
Right.
They had a close game with Woodside, 13-6. Otherwise, they have just they've destroyed the other teams. Their scores this year: 40-14 in opening night against Heritage, 57-0 against Denby, 25-6 Warwick, and then 25-7 against Lake Taylor last week.
Shotgun, Daniels back to pass. Not much pressure. Hargrave, had it and
Good
dropped
D.
it.
He
That's
did.
the second time he had the ball in his hands. As
Newton.
I'm sorry, that's Newton on the coverage.
Newton has become a real thorn in their side on this drive.
He's just another one of those sophomores, Frank, on Bethel. So it's going to be a key third down, 39 for Phoebus, as you see the replay here.
Off his hand. He probably should have had that catch.
Oh, yeah.
Newton had his left arm pretty good. Must have timed it just right. The colorful lineup with the October pink. Phoebus going to regroup. They're going to set. They thought they were going to time out. They did not call timeout.
So Phoebus back on a 3rd and 9. Daniels in the shotgun. Daniels back to pass. They're going to call a screen. I thought Bethel had it, and he's going to get the first down and more.
What happened out there? He just fell down.
He just fell down. He had him in the backfield.
Yep, that was Bethel's number 8.
That's DeMario Sims.
Sims had it, got his feet turned around.
And that's White on that screen. He's a sophomore. Really happy.
See right here, right at the bottom is right there.
Oh, yeah, Sims just fell down. He had him.
So Bethel playing great defense against the Phantoms. Hold'em, they have not scored. There's only 3:26 to go here in the second quarter. Bethel would love to go to the locker room in a 0-0 tie.
So Daniels once again in the shotgun.
Jalen White next to him, number 12.
Another pass. He sees Fleming in the flat. Good tackle, good pursuit by Bethel. As Fleming bounced off the first tackle, but Penzer was there for Bethel to wrap him up.
Jaquan Penzer, 5'8" sophomore.
Another sophomore.
Hanging on to the leg.
So Bethel's they're pretty well stocked in the defensive backfield. They have youth in the back with Penzer and Newton. We've been calling their names a lot tonight.
And for that, the clock still runs, which is benefiting Bethel. Again, if they can get in the locker room at halftime against Phoebus, 0-0.
Yeah, I think
Coach
Phoebus,
Beverly be thrilled.
If they punch one, it'll deflate them. You got to make sure they don't let Phoebus get in the end zone.
2:40. Got a special guest at halftime tonight. Stay tuned for our halftime conversation. We're going to surprise you a little bit tonight.
Daniels in the shotgun, has time. Back to pass. He's got Bryant wide open. Touchdown, Phoebus.
Outran the defender, Newton. Newton kind of gave up, I think, on the play a little early. The fake may have gotten Newton to bite, and it wasn't but a half a step, and a catch is made. Well, Bryant with a touchdown. You'll see right here at the bottom of your screen. And the throw right there.
Yeah.
So Bryant hauls it in for the touchdown.
Great throw, Daniels. I'm really impressed by Daniels.
Here comes Wallace for the kick. Anthony Wallace, Jr., 5'11", 141 pounds. Going to kick the extra point for the Phantoms.
Oh, it's going to be
Didn't get
blocked.
very far. Kicked it. No, well, I think it was kicked into the back of the center there. The snap took a while to get down. Wallace has to go on timing. So it's 6-0. And again, I still think Coach Beverly is going to be excited to go in the locker room down 6-0. He would like to put 3 on the board here, or 6 if he can get it, with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, it would have been nice on Bethel's from Bethel's standpoint to hold them, but like you said, 6-0 won't be that devastating for him.
Well, I mentioned our halftime guest. If we only had somebody that knew something about Phoebus football.
Yeah, just a little.
Just something. And so we hope to see that. There's our friend Vivian taking taking more pictures. She's been going the whole time.
Yeah.
She was out here about an hour before the game started. Phoebus yearbook will be full of the Bethel Phoebus game.
Of course, Bethel has a quarterly magazine that comes out called Bear Facts, which
they better contact Vivian for some pictures for Bear Facts.
Well, Ethan Larson is actually the sports editor for them. He's the kicker on Bethel, so
He better have one of those little helmet cams or something. He can take some pictures.
so students doing great jobs here at Hampton City Schools.
Wallace to kick off for the Phantoms.
Well, a little pooch kick that goes to, it's like Robinson calls the fair catch, and Bethel will get decent field position around a 30.
Yeah, good. I think he could have picked up a few more. That was Storm with the catch. Those numbers are hard to see in person, and when you're sitting here, they're hard to pick up. That goal number, no, it's 9.
It was, Robinson.
Yeah, it was. You're right. Roberson. Devontae Roberson, who is a 12th grader. Wallace there kicked the ball not very far, but didn't have a run back.
So let's see. We have Bethel has 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the half. Down 6-0. If you count moral victories, it's definitely a moral victory for them now, but they're trying to get the win here as Beverly's in the shotgun. Pitch to Storm. Storm has room on the far side, almost broke it. He's closed in on, though.
It's the first time he's been able to find a hole over there. That's great blocking by the left side of the Bethel line. As, again, Storm a little late arriving, like all storms are can be here in the Hampton Roads area. But good block. That's Jackson Griffiths over there.
So Beverly in the shotgun on 2nd down. Goes back to pass.
Wide open, but yeah.
A little late.
Oh,
Almost picked off.
and no interference call. Number 21 for the Phantoms. That's Latrell Smith with the nice coverage. Throw probably a little late because the receiver was open there. Probably should have thrown it before he turned. But 3rd down. You see him, he opened.
He was open, yeah. Smith closed in. Smith, the tab transfer, the junior.
There comes John Beverly, probably the most important play here of the first half. Let's see if he can pick up a 1st down. Keep his drive going.
So 3rd and 4 from the 36. Beverly in the shotgun with Storm. Another pass play as Beverly's not going to get out. It's Purdy once again.
And on a delayed rush, and nobody got him. The line didn't see him coming. They were tied up, and he came around the far end. Purdy's had quite a half for the Phantoms.
Timeout. Phoebus.
4th down is, as you see, Beverly trying to get away, but Purdy won't let that happen. Not on his watch tonight.
Phantoms take a timeout. They're trying to keep some time for maybe getting another shot here at the end zone. Herman Drones joining us here tonight.
So Bethel's,
Good to have him back.
the main thing for Bethel is they cannot let Phoebus get in the end zone right here with 1 minute and 38 seconds left. Defense has been playing well. They just gave up that last touchdown, but other than that, they've been doing their job on defense.
So both coaching staffs trying to probably tell their team just that. I would imagine Bethel's going to punt this away as far as they can. Shout out the Phoebus cheerleaders. The band in the background, they're going to entertain us at halftime. But we do. Stay tuned. We've got a great halftime guest for you. Ethan Larson back. I don't see any camera there. Gotta get him one of those little ones that goes on the helmet. You know, the
helmet
GoPro. Need a GoPro.
High snap. Larson gets it.
Good punt.
Good punt by Larson as Smith goes out of bounds at around the 40.
Good play down there and great punt. That's exactly what Coach Beverly needed. Now the Phantoms get it farther than they thought, but they've got 1:31 to go here in the first half. And they're going to try to tack on another score. They're up 6-0. In what's been a very sloppily played first half by both squads. But again, the Bethel defense has done a good job holding off a team that, by my calculations, averages 32 points a game this year.
Definitely a moral victory for Bethel.
They give up 6.6. So as you can see with the difference like that, they win a lot of ball games. So here come the Phantoms, Chris Daniels and his crew.
Let's look at the Bethel side on this Friday night. Daniels back to pass. He has Bryant wide open. Is incomplete. He was wide open.
He was so open that he didn't know really where he was, or he had turned one way and had to turn the other, and that time Daniels underthrew him by a good distance. That's a touchdown right there.
It was. If he was on stride, it was definitely a touchdown. So incomplete, 2nd and 10.
That stops the clock.
Daniels in the shotgun, back to pass. They're trying to put up some more points here as Bailey gets it, and good tackle by Bethel.
Yeah, Bailey paid for that. Jaquan Pinzer slows them up. And
Blizzard was also in there.
Tiso Blizzard, 5'11", 175-pound senior. Phantoms going quickly here. 3rd down and about 7.
I don't know why they would go quick, but if they can get a touchdown here, as Daniels is smacked, and it's going to be complete to Hargrave, and he's still on his feet. He might score a touchdown, and he will. Barry Hargrave, touchdown, Phoebus.
2 great plays. Daniels with a man charging it because he got stuck when he threw it. And Hargrave shows you why he's player of the week. Not a lot you can do with that when a kid who can catch a ball like that and then run.
Well, he dropped 2 earlier.
Yeah, but
he makes his best catch.
You look at the size of him. It's hard to tell. If you look at the pictures, a very solid receiver. Yeah. Hargraves listed 6', 186-pound junior. You'll see the hit coming right here on Daniels.
Oh, yeah, he was drilled. Look at this catch. Look at this.
With the ball thrown high enough. We've seen Cam Stevenson from Hampton High School do the same thing. They're able to throw the ball up where their receivers can get it. And that time, Hargrave went up and got it and then uses his athletic talent to move it in. They're going to go for 2 here.
Look very similar to the one last week against Lake Taylor. So, yeah, they'll go for 2. Daniels in the shotgun on the 2-point conversion. Back to pass. He's going to try to get right, and he's going to be.
Ball was right there, too. Incomplete. It's a tough catch, right straight over his head.
Especially for a running back.
Yep. Yeah. But so nothing there. But 12-6 now. Phantoms.
So 12-0.
12-0, excuse me, 12-0 Phantom.
He's not doing that bad on the clock, Frank. You can't,
35 seconds ago, second quarter.
So that was the backbreaker for Bethel. They had it, 2 minutes ago it was 0-0, and then they score 2 quick touchdowns in the second quarter.
Well, this is what we expected out of the Phantoms coming in tonight. We expected to see that Hargrave pass a couple times. He said he dropped one earlier, dropped 1 or 2 earlier.
Yeah, dropped a touchdown pass and then another pass.
They're going to have to score to stay in this game.
They're going to have to.
Now it's 13-0. Excuse me, 12-0. 12-0. Scoreboard a little sticky tonight, and this humidity may be contributing to that. Wallace going to kick it off. He takes 2 steps. Not quite Eric Anderson style.
Another swift kick is he should let it. Maybe he should let it go, but Storm wants to make a play.
Yep, and
he's got some room on the outside. He gets close to midfield around the 45.
And he got 15 more.
So Bethel's in position right now to make some noise here with 25 seconds left.
So Kashawn Storm, and a beautiful play. He was running toward the light there. It looks like the Death Star has risen in the east. What a beautiful shot there, Steve Fryer.
Storm could have let the ball go out, but as a playmaker, you want to make a play. He caught it, saw an opening on the sideline.
He's been playing that way the whole first half. He's trying to carry him, and he's done a good job, especially on that play. He picks up another 15 by being tackled illegally.
So Bethel in position to make something happen, but they only have 22 seconds left.
Well, we're going to see a lot of passes here. Just 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Daniels in the shotgun. Yeah, excuse me, Beverly in the shotgun. Yeah.
Phoebus showing blitz. Incomplete.
Helmet to helmet, another 15 yards. That penalty on Phoebus is number 21.
That's Smith.
Latrell Smith with the helmet to helmet.
That's a tough call.
Well, and one that we watch these officials make, and they're going to make it in all levels of football now.
That's a tough call. I mean, he's trying to make a play. The receiver dipped his head.
Yeah, we saw it starting last year.
Personal foul. Illegal helmet contact by the defense. 15-yard penalty.
So the only problem
pickup.
So Bethel has two opponents right now, Frank. They have the clock and they have Phoebus defense. So only 19 seconds left. They have the ball, however, on the 23-yard line.
So 2 penalties move the ball 30 yards for the Bruins, bring them way down into the Phoebus end.
Beverly in the shotgun. Phoebus showing blitz. They back out of it. Beverly is going to throw it to Santz in the end zone. It's going to be almost intercepted.
The Phantoms knocked it away from each other. That time, Phoebus is number 2. Thailand Baldwin, the sophomore, had it in his hands. I don't know if he dropped on the way down or his teammate may have poked it out, thinking it was a Bruin receiver. Again, Beverly underthrowing the ball, had his receiver open behind.
Oh, he was open.
You know, through Baldwin's hands.
I think Charity knocked it out of Baldwin's hands. Yeah.
So go toward the light, Bruins. That's what they're trying to do.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now from the 23. Obvious passing situation for Bethel. Beverly, shotgun, goes back to pass. He's going to have to get rid of it. He's going to have to run. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be, this time it's, I was going to say intercepted, but it bounced off of the defender in the end zone. Looks like they were triple coverage on that play.
Well, no time for Beverly that time. Just nothing doing.
There's only 6 seconds left. You try Larson here, or do you?
He may have a timeout left. So he could have run, but now the clock showing 6.9 here in the stadium.
One has 12.8, one has 6.9.
How about 9 seconds left by average? Coach Beverly's going to be trying to be upset because he's not going to be able to tell how much time's left.
Well, it's 6.9 now on both.
Oh, it's 6.9.
Now they're going to ask him to set is it a timeout, Phoebus? Timeout, Phoebus.
No, officials timeout. They're going to try to get this straight. No, I don't think either one. The official had it. Mayhew touched his shoulders, showing a official timeout. It's hard to tell.
And they're gonna go for the field goal, Frank. Ethan Larson put some points on the board.
Well, if it was anybody, it was Bruins that called a timeout, but it was Mayhew, the head official, the white hat as they call him, had his fingers touched to the shoulders. This is Herman.
Herman has the night off, along with our fan favorite.
Longtime supporter of the Crabbers down there. So here is the kicker.
For Ethan Larson. It has the distance. Yeah. That's going to be good.
The Bruins get on the board. Well, that's exactly what Coach Beverly wanted to do. Come into this last bit of the first half and grab a score, and they get it with is that the first field goal we've seen here at Darling Stadium this year? So. We haven't seen many kickers here. So the Bruins on the board with 3. It's 12-3 now, Phoebus, with just a second or 2 left. Maybe, no, 6 seconds left.
You know,
We've got a clock problem here, folks, the scoreboard problem. So we're having different times, or now it's 0.6.
Yeah, we got it straight.
All right.
So you get a good look. The band
now having to pause because they thought they were coming on, but they're going to wait. One more kickoff.
So we have our close game that we wanted, Frank, as the last 2 broadcasts, unfortunately, were one-sided. But so far we have a 9-point game. Is bearing any miracle play here or run back by Phoebus. We're going to go into halftime with a 9-point lead as Ethan Larson's going to kick off.
With a long run back, the left footer.
Is just going to do a swift kick, and that's going to stay in bounds as Hargrave gets it. He's dangerous with it. He could have it. Almost broke that as he gets tackled by Pinzer.
That does it for the first half. here at Darling Stadium. Tonight's game off to a very slow start, but the Phantoms get a couple touchdowns in the last few minutes of the second quarter. The Bruins answer with a field goal with 6 seconds to go in the half. And the Phantoms lead at 12-3. We'll be back in just a minute with our halftime guest. It's Anthony Robinson of Phoebus High School. We'll see you in a few minutes. Join us.
For your halftime enjoyment, the Phoebus Phantom Marching Band.
I told her to go easy over your chords this week.
She already got me one good time.
we're back. We thank the band from Phoebus High School providing some great entertainment tonight. And for your home viewing pleasure, we're joined tonight by our special guest, 2004 Phoebus High School graduate Anthony Rob Robinson, longtime fan, player, coach, and supporter of the Phoebus High School. Rob, man, it's great to have you up here. Tell me, first of all, tell the fans a little bit how you got started at Phoebus, what you did at Phoebus, and then what you've done since.
Like you said, I played. My freshman year was 2000. I graduated in 2004. I went off to school and came back after.
We'll have to change headsets, I think, Wu Bei. Yeah, let's see if we can get that on, and we'll. So you graduate in 04, you go off to college.
And I come back and coach 2005 was my first year coaching at 2005. And I was there for the 2006 state championship and went back to school for a few years, came back in 2007.
Yeah.
And,
well, you got but you won a couple championships under Coach Bill D.
2001, 2002, the first two ever at Phoebus.
And then you had another family member.
Yeah, my little
joined
brother.
us. Now let me.
Chaz Robinson.
Chaz Robinson. Let me go right to the picture of you here. One of my favorite pictures. And folks, I hope we can get this up on the screen for you. To me,
that takes me back
now,
there.
Folks, this is a picture. There it is.
There it is.
This is Anthony on the right, and his brother Chaz. That's a loss.
2007.
And that's they lost to Stonebridge. And that broke the streak for your brother. He had won one state title, and he's going to go.
2006 coming off. We thought we was going to win another one, and Stonebridge stopped us, short from doing it again.
Now, by this time, Phoebus had won 3 titles. They go on to win a few more. I thought this has always been the similar moment of Phoebus football because your brother did something after that game that got everybody inspired involving towel.
Definitely. Coach D actually framed that picture, and he found a towel and put it in the weight room, and the kids kind of like embraced it, and it kind of, like you said, summed up unfinished business, and that was our slogan going into that 2008 year.
And that 2008 year, that 2009 year, and that 2010 year, you didn't lose a game.
Didn't lose a game. I think we finished 52 in a row before we lost our first game.
Yeah, I didn't even add it up.
It was something like 52 straight games. We had the longest winning streak in the nation at the time, going into 2011, the 4-peat year. When we lost our first game in 3.5 years.
Well, let me tell you, let's tell the fans a little bit about Coach Bill D. This is our first season for Phoebus football. We're after Coach D's death.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Tough, I know, for myself, being a player and also getting a chance to coach with him. He made a lot of us who we are today as men. We take on that concept team, me, big team, little me, in every aspect of our life. So Coach D was definitely the huge inspiration, I know, for myself. But if you could ask any class that he coached, we're all going to say the same thing. He was a father to us. That's for some that didn't have the fathers in the household. And just a mentor, even though he was tough on us and was tough as nails. But it made us great men today,
Well, I know at his service, you guys gathered in front of the church.
Yeah.
And I believe you had a young man named Todd Boyd that had come back, the quarterback for Phoebus. Went on to Clemson and played very well down there.
Yes, he did.
But you had all sorts of guys from all different generations of Phoebus football.
You had Sean Austin was on that team. You had I know you had guys from the 90s on that team. In that picture at that service. And I know, I was young, but, Coach D showed us those tapes of those guys. So, and we're all a community. All the old-time Phoebus guys, they come back and support the kids. So, the Womacks and the Daniel Adibis and, the Shields, TJ Shields, and guys from, all eras. So it's special. KK, he's giving back. It's amazing that the love Coach D inspired in every class. And so we miss him. We definitely miss him. We miss him.
Well, I said something to Coach Blount before the game, and he had the same feeling. It's tough to come out here without knowing he's still around, but I know his spirit's here, and certainly his system.
That's why I do what I do with Phoebus. I stay connected. I love the kids. When they wear the gold helmet, that represents not just myself, my class, but the class before me, Coach D, the state championships, the hard work that we put in that makes us who we are.
Well, now your brother, I don't want to cut your brother out, but he went on and had a pretty good college career.
Oh, he had a great college career. He broke 2 school records, 400. He finished his college career with 407 tackles. That set the school record. The school record was like 375, and he shattered it at 407. Finished the season his senior year, 126 tackles, averaging 12.6. Finished third in the country amongst tacklers, 2-time All-American, co-defensive player of the year. So he had a great college career. I mean, I worked hard with him since he was 6. It paid off. He got 3 championships over my 2 at Phoebus.
Yeah.
So he roused me about it all the time.
You guys count that. Now, I've got another one I saw.
Oh, wow.
And, folks, we have a picture here, and it's hard to see, but Anthony has been –
2001.
He's looking at a 2001 championship photo there, and your signature's on that picture somewhere. Yeah.
Let me see. Can I find it?
Now, tell me about the feeling of winning that first. That's
winning that first. It was tough. Like I said, Coach Blount of the team. Guess right now he was our captain of that team, and we lost earlier that year to Warwick with the young Marcus Vick. And after that loss, he actually told the team, hey, we're not gonna give up. We stuck together. We worked harder than everybody, and it showed off. We beat Hampton. We beat them twice that year actually, and it was special. It was special playing at University of Richmond for the first time, in Phoebus history, and being able to say that we were the first guys to do it. It's special. It's definitely special.
Well, let me sum it up like this. And this is, folks, I've known Rob for many years. We've done some basketball. We've done a lot of basketball games and enjoy that. And you still do games out at the Boo Williams place and help Boo put those tournaments on.
Yep.
Now, have you got something new going on with football around the area?
I've been supporting Shutdown Academy, Pop Warner team, Elton Brown, if some people may know, Antoine Bethea. They started a team here in the Hampton Roads area. They're really good, all levels, all their age groups. And I go out and support the kids. It doesn't matter what school, honestly, for me. I love Phoebus. Phoebus got my #1 support, but I do go to see Hampton and Bethel and Kickerton. So yeah.
Well, very good. Well, as I said, I think of you as being part of two real pivotal moments. The first championship team, and then the moment that's captured by the Daily Press. I don't know if that's Rob Ostermeyer or not. I want to give him credit. But that picture.
It was actually a lady, and she kind of, I remember it happening. She was standing there in front of us, and she was hiding the camera under her arm. I remember seeing her. But, I was caught in the moment, and, my brother, and it was like I didn't expect to wake up Saturday morning or Sunday morning and seeing that on the front page.
Well, I'll tell you this. To me, this shows the passion that you guys put in
definitely
to this sport and to this school and to this community. And I want to thank you for that, Rob.
Thank you guys for having me.
Great
I love
having
the channel.
you.
I definitely love the channel. Everybody come to the game, support the game. If you not, watch the game at home. Appreciate
we got to do some basketball this winter now. We'll get you back up here.
Yep.
We'll get you back in here, but I wish that it worked. You want to get well, come on, sit back down. We're ready to go away. We got the teams coming back on the field. About 10 seconds ago or a minute 9. It's hard to tell. The clock is giving the clock tender a fit tonight. It has got some sort of mechanical issue. That time it jumped 10 seconds. So it is 12-3 Phoebus. We're going to keep Rob with us a minute.
Yep.
If we can get Wubei to, is that microphone going to work?
So what do you think about the second half? I mean, what does Phoebus have to do to hold the lead?
I mean, the defense is playing solid. The offense is, having a good drive going on. Just got to finish with it in the red zone. You see the phones going into the I think it's going to be a good game for Phoebus in the second half. So, they can turn it up.
All right. All right, Rob. Well, thanks for your preview. We're going to let you go. And Wubeis, next time we're going to have a mic.
Thanks for having me.
We'll get you out of the basketball game.
Anytime.
If you knew something about basketball, we'll get you on
I'm going to be out watching there. I watch everybody. You'll see me.
Great. Anthony Rob Robinson. You'll see him at the 7-Eleven out there at Paul's on King Street. That's where we're there in the morning. See you now. Thank you. Great to have Anthony with us tonight. He really is the face of Phoebus football, and he's just been involved in so many levels at that program. And he's a guy that we love to see around the ballpark. The kids really respond to him. They know who he is, and they respect him a great deal, and they listen to him because he spends time with these players.
Yeah, well, they respect him. He's He knows what the program's about. And, again, I always just admire the guys who come back to their alma mater and give back and want to help the young kids out and keep the tradition and the legacy going at their respective school.
Well, we got the Phoebus Phantoms to kick off here. Wallace kicks it short. Fielded at the 25 of the Bruins.
That's Storm again. Remember what he did at the end of the half? As he stays on his feet, this might be trouble. Good hit by Phoebus as they closed in on him.
He picks up about 25 yards. Unfortunately, it's in a big circle, and he ends up right back where he caught the ball. First and 10, about the 26-yard line for the Bruins. They trail at 12-3. Wube, what do you think?
Well,
second half here.
Bethel, believe it or not, Bethel has them where they want them. I mean, it's 12-3. You know, we thought it'd be a lot more than this. At least some of the experts did. And, you know, if Bethel can get one here, a field goal or a touchdown, we have a game. And, you know, Phoebus, as far as Phoebus is concerned, a little sluggish on offense. The 2 turnovers really hurt them. They ended up getting 2 touchdowns late. Defense is playing well, but they just got to get something going on offense a little bit more.
Let's see what Coach Beverly has told his son about running this offense here in the second half.
Storm gets the handoff, and he slithers through, if I can say that quick enough, through the Phoebus defense. He picks up a good gain.
A very good game for Storm. And the last couple of runs have been good gains for him. Brought down by the Phantom number 22, Corey Wilson, the sophomore, 6 foot 185-pounder. That's going to be important. You see him running behind Big Jackson Griffiths there, 56.
Another thing I'm always intrigued by, Frank, is the halftime adjustments. What do the coaches do to make changes, you know, from the first half? Looks like Bethel's going to stick with Storm as he gets it again. Got some room, close to a first down.
Real nice run and good blocking up there. He just up over the 35-yard line. Spot's going to be maybe a hair short.
So 2 good runs by Storm.
Does it surprise you going to the ground?
Well, Storm's their man, and it looks like he's still able to get some positive yards. So I guess they're going to stick with him until the Phoebus defense buckles down.
Well, good block out there by Jonathan Saunders.
And Beverly's had some good throws in the first half.
So they're going to measure it. I don't think the spot was a good one for the Bruins. We'll see how the chain stretches.
They don't get it this time. They're going to be about an inch or 2 short.
About an inch, yeah, not much at all. Jim Mayhew signaling that is going to be third down. Night's gotten a little cooler this second half. It's going to be a nicer, even nicer weather-wise here.
So it's 3rd and inches. You see the Bethel offensive line. Beverly rushes it up to the line. Do a quick count here.
You go right behind Griffiths if he's smart.
Good hard count.
So they pick up 5 on the penalty in the first down. That takes it up over the 40-yard line.
So the simplest play got a first down as a hard count by Beverly.
The Bruins move the ball. Early here in the third quarter, they trail it by 9. That field goal could prove to be very important tonight. Field goal with 6 seconds to go in the half, the first half.
Beverly under center. Fumbles a snap, and I think Phoebus got it.
See how quick.
Bethel got it back.
Well, that didn't help. That's a wasted down for the Bruins. They don't want to do that too many times here in the second half. 2nd and 10. I thought I'd see Beverly go to the air a couple of more times here in the second half than he did in the first. He had some success.
Well, I mean, if he has an opportunity to keep giving Storm the ball, and Storm has some positive yardage so far, then stay with him. But that muffled snap is gonna really hurt him on this drive if they don't get a first down. So Beverly in the shotgun. This time he goes to shotgun. Toussaint's in motion. They give it to Toussaint on the sweep. He has the speed on the outside, but Phoebus closes in as he gets hit and knocked out of bounds.
You know, Phoebus stretches it out very well. Damian Charity making himself known there. Picks up just a couple of yards. So 3rd down now as Coach Van Dyke looks on. The tape on his fingers, he does not have bad fingernails. It's like the major league catchers. They tape the fingers so that the players can more clearly see the play call, the number of fingers being held up.
So Toussaint, maybe a 3-yard gain. As Bethel's going to be on actually gave him 2. It's going to be 3rd and 8 from the 42.
Austin Smith right there, your bottom in at right tackle for the Bruins tonight.
Beverly back to pass, has a good pocket. It's going to be a flag. That might be a hold as they throw him down. Oh, that's going to be a flag on Phoebus.
Well, the line broke down. It wasn't Smith. We saw Smith holding his block. I think the right guard got beat inside, and Purdy comes in, number 84 for the Phantoms, pointing towards the Phoebus side here.
And that's going to be a flag on Phoebus, I think, for unnecessary roughness. We'll see the exact call on here, though.
Maybe 2 flags on the play.
Yeah, one I think on Bethel and one on Phoebus. So legal shift on Bethel, personal foul on Phoebus.
A net move of 10 yards, isn't it?
Play. It was an illegal shift by the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. That was a live ball penalty. It was also a dead ball personal foul against the defense.
Personal foul against Phoebus.
So you have a live ball foul that's marked off first, and then a dead ball foul that follows. And folks, all you do is read the Daily Press this week about the William & Mary game last week, and officiating in that game, it was determined on Monday or Tuesday to have been incorrectly ruled on, and it may have cost William & Mary the game.
I saw Laycock's comments on that one.
Good working here, the crew working together here in Darling Stadium. Get this call right.
So it's 1st down and 10 from the 42. Storm gets knocked down. He fumbles it, and it's picked up by Phoebus. That's Wilson. And he's going to go in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Phoebus.
And he's still going. He's going to run right out. He's going to get on the track and take a few laps. That time, I think the ball was being bobbled at the very beginning. I'm not sure Beverly even had it. And he hands off, and Storm never had it. But Kareem Wilson gets the touchdown. The turnover leading to the touchdown. The Phantoms put a 6 more. You see, he never had the ball. And that bad handoff, he never had the ball.
And just picked up by Wilson.
And it's picked up. Wilson was on his feet, so he could pick that ball up. And that young man quite quick, as you can see.
Yes, sir. He's actually
5'11", 205-pound linebacker.
He plays fullback.
Well, that time, that time, speed pays off. Sprints in, scores a touchdown, 18-3. And the Phantoms look like they're going to go for 2. In comes Chris Daniels, the sophomore quarterback.
So Bethel with a great drive, great field position. They just gave it right to Phoebus.
So Coach Beverly was talking about trying to finish, and didn't finish that time.
A little bunch formation. It's like a rugby formation, actually. Daniels goes to Fleming. Easily gets in for the 2-point conversion.
I'm surprised he just didn't keep going further wide. He had a clearer path.
So now it's 20-3.
That's Daquan Fleming with the score. So it's 20-3 now, midway through the 3rd period.
So, you have a great opportunity for Bethel to put more points on the board and cut that 12-3 deficit. But a fumble on a, I don't know if it was players went on the right page, but a fumble.
I'm not sure either player had a good grip on that ball. I think Beverly didn't get a good handle on it, and then his handoff was not cleanly done. I'm not sure Storm even touched the ball.
And
so that, again, with those new starting quarterback, you're going to have those errors. Unfortunately, it came at a point where Kareem Wilson was looking for something to scoop up and run the other way.
And then Purdy, he's been in the backfield all night. He might as well put a Bethel jersey on. He's been back there so much. He was in there and disrupted the handoff, and Wilson picked it up, and he had exceptional speed down the field and got a touchdown for Phoebus.
Purdy, 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's a senior. Kareem Wilson, also a senior. So Wallace to kick off.
So Toussaint and Storm back there to kick, actually to receive the kick. Another swift kick by Wallace.
Right in the middle of the field.
And that's Storm. Good stiff arm by Storm. He's still on his feet. This time he gets another good run. He's about at midfield.
Well,
so they're getting good field position on the kickoffs.
He's got just about all the yardage for Bethel tonight, and his special teams play has been terrific. Let's see if the Bruins can put a score on the board. A touchdown here would at least keep them in the game. It's 20-3.
Yeah, they need a touchdown badly here.
So the Bruins in another jersey, they seem to have, 3 jerseys this year, at least 3, in the Oregon Duck program.
I've seen him in black, white, and green this year. As you see Storm on the kickoff.
Very quick. Sheds one tackle. Finally pushed out of bounds.
So Toussaint goes in motion.
Flag on Bethel. And number 7 for the Phantoms going to draw a foul by just getting in the face of
False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Toussaint.
Remains first down.
And that's going to cost the Bruins again. I don't have a net yardage figure for the Bruins tonight, but it can't be much. They've had so many penalties that it's just hurting them. Big Tim Young for the Phantoms. Number 78, 6'4", 300 pounds. That's what a 6'4", 300-pound man looks like, a young man.
He's got offers from Howard, Hampton, Morgan State, just to name a few. All want his services at the next level. So Beverly in the shotgun, pitches it to Storm. He has some blockers. He cuts it up, but Phoebus' defense is there.
Yeah, he was 1 blocker shy. He had 2 blockers, but there were 3 defenders. So no room at the end.
And then there's a flag, and Storm is down. Not a good sign for Bethel.
And I think that's going to be against the Phantoms. There's been a lot of jawing down there. Let's see what the call is.
And this is Hope Storm is okay. He's their playmaker on offense. In the backfield, as you see the cut, and it looks like he just got his ankle rolled on.
I didn't see a penalty that time. We'll see what the penalty's on. The Storm's still down. You see him right at the bottom of your screen there. Trainer from Phoebus out to help. Here comes Coach Beverly. He's going to come out and check on his running back. It's been almost all his offense tonight. Son John has done pretty well through the air. We may see more now if Storm's unable to go.
2 great passes in the second quarter.
Well, we hope it's just a little tweak of an ankle. I don't want anything serious. Officials are going to come together and figure out what that flag's all about and let us know eventually. Jim Mayhew and his crew done a nice job tonight. Ivy Allen been busy on this side.
Yeah, he's getting up.
Problem is Storm depends on being fast.
Yeah.
It looks like the ankle. It's hard to see from this angle, but I think that was a knee. Don't know what that hand gesture means, but we'll figure it out. Maybe he's all right. Here comes Jim Mayhew to tell us what that flag's about. So Mayhew's going to talk to Coach Jeremy Blount, the Phoebus Phantoms, and explain to him what's going on.
Looks like it's another personal foul.
I think it is.
After the play, unsportsmanlike contact by the or unsportsmanlike conduct by the defense. 15-yard penalty.
So
now the Phantoms have really played poorly in that area tonight. They had too many late hits, too much talking in a game, especially as close as this one is. I'm not sure what caused that. I don't know if that was language or, was that verbal or was that something physical we didn't see. But whatever it was, it's 15 yards in the wrong way for the Phantoms. Bethel now the 1st and 10 on the Phantom 43. Looking to score and try to get this game back within 2 touchdowns.
So Toussaint in motion. It fakes to Toussaint, goes to Brewington Parker, and he's smacked around as Phoebus tried to go for the strip.
Yeah, that's the Phantoms, number 89 on that play. That's Joshua Austin, a sophomore, and he just met him like a lead door.
Yes.
And you see the running back fall backwards, so nothing doing there. They lose 7 yards.
Man.
Yeah, the play is a little too deep for what the line's able to do for them. So I think we're going to have to see Beverly go to the air.
It's going to have to
and try to loosen it up.
Yeah. So 2nd and 17 from midfield. 20-3 Phoebus. Beverly in the shotgun. Beverly back to pass. He goes to Toussaint. And it's Toussaint maybe gets a yard.
Yeah, nothing there. The block not able to hold the corner to give Toussaint at least a running start. So the Phantom defense playing very well. They hold that one to about a yard gain. 3rd and 17. No gain at all.
Get a good look at the Phoebus cheerleader.
Yeah. I don't want you to break into Amore, by Dean Martin here.
Dean Martin.
The moon in the sky like a big pizza pie.
So Beverly in the shotgun. Empty backfield. As he goes back to pass, he's going to throw it. He's going to get picked off.
That's Phoebus' number 26, Brandon Ward.
That's Brandon Ward. That's going to be a penalty on Bethel as Toussaint slams him to the ground.
Well, Ward would look like the receiver on that play. There's a couple flags down. Yeah, flag in near midfield, and you got a flag over here near the 40 or 38-yard line.
Well, in high school, you can't lift him up and slam him down. It's a penalty.
So getting a little chippy out there on the field between these two rivals. Mayhew's sorting it out with his crew.
So not a good pass by Beverly.
Personal foul against Bethel.
You can go. Personal foul against the defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
So just one penalty called. Flags must have been seeing the same thing.
Play, yeah. As you see, look at the
Beverly
interception.
back, floats it out there a little bit. Didn't have much time. He was looking at the receiver there, but as you can see, there's 5 Phantoms around. And Toussaint throws him down backwards, and that's going to draw 2 flags, totaling 15 yards. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms from the Bruin 44.
So Daniels in the shotgun.
Getting the sophomore quarterback.
With Wright, the senior. Daniels back to pass. Has a little time as he, that's a shot to the face.
No flag. On a stiff arm, but good defense out there. Fleming, I think, with the hand to the face of the defender. A little talking across the lines there. Mayhew's going to try to shut that down. And the loss of yards. Chris Daniels had a wonderful summer. The Phantoms did, playing in 7-on-7 football.
Yeah, they won a couple tournaments,
including a 48-team tournament.
As you see here, you see Fleming with the. Oh, that's got to be a penalty.
Yeah, that's a little aggressive.
No call there.
That Toussaint that get the hand to the face.
They're going to go to Fleming on the carry.
Good tackle that time by the Bruins. He held on. It looks like Bruins number 5 had him that time, Kendall Hunt, who get the start at quarterback earlier this year. Number 3, excuse me, Spencer.
Spencer's been all over the field tonight. So it's going to be third down and third and 9 from the 47. Huge defensive series here for Bethel, and they need to stop, get the ball back, and get some points. Easier said than done from up here. Daniels back to pass. He's had success, and this is going to be incomplete.
It's overthrew number 9 for the Phantom, Bryce Bailey, or number 8, excuse me, DeQuandre Edwards. He is not able to connect with Edwards. And of course, Hargrave getting plenty of attention out there. There's a very busy Newton for the Bruins.
Who's had a good game.
He has got Burnley at one play, but that was a long time for the quarterback to get set. The Phantoms are going to punt the ball.
Emmanuel Johnson. There's Toussaint back to receive the punt. Oh, that's going to be a roughing.
Yeah, not only roughing the punter, but it was just a blatant roughing the punter. I think he could have had the block.
He went for the block.
And the punter with the leg up is hurt.
Is that going to be rough? I think in high school there's only one, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a 15-yarder, and I think automatic first down. He had to block if you went for the ball. Instead, he went for the player.
So it's
and he catches the punter's leg.
There is no running in high school. It's just 15 yards.
Yeah. So we've got under 4 minutes.
And they still looking at Johnson. As you're right, he could have went in for the block.
Oh, he had to block. In fact, he could have picked the ball off. He was that much on the punter. He could have run by and caught it. Well, while we're hoping the punter gets up here soon, let's look a little bit about Phoebus High School. We talked to Anthony Robinson over the break. Here's a little history on Phoebus, the newest of our high schools, opened in 1975.
The year I was born.
Yeah, show off. Won 7 state football champs since 2001. An alumni, you heard, of course, the great baseball pitcher Wayne Gomes. Xavier Debe went on the NFL. Taj Boyd, who's played in the NFL and in the Canadian League. Lakeisha Frett, one of the best basketball players ever to come out of this area. Boo Williams, of course, a great ball player, went to St. Joe's, came back home and started, really had pumped up AAU basketball. And the author, Margot Lee Shetterly, whose book Hidden Figures has become the talk of the world in the last year. A wonderful book.
Turned into a movie.
Shetterly. You can get signed copies of that book, Hidden Figures, down at the Hampton History Museum down on Old Hampton Lane. Across from St. John's in downtown Hampton. Stop by and get your book. They made great Christmas presents.
Absolutely.
Margot's been very generous with her time here in Hampton, coming back and working and meeting people and signing books.
Lives in Charlottesville, so she comes back up quite often.
Her next book is about your neck of the woods. You're in Baltimore. She's got a story about Baltimore.
Oh, really?
She's working on, yes. And she's been very generous with her time. She'll come to the History Museum and set up a table and sign books for folks, and then she leaves us with a bunch of signed books down there.
Awesome.
So you can get those for presents. Well, 1st and 10 for the Phantoms inside the Bruin 30.
As Bethel had another golden opportunity to get the ball. They had Toussaint back to return the punt, and they get the penalty on the roughing the kicker.
There's too many mistakes tonight.
Yeah.
On both sides for a long time, but now Bethel, the mistakes have really hurt the Bruins. As they've certainly played better than they've played in the past couple of weeks tonight.
Especially on defense. So Daniels under center now. The big Tim Young, the center, goes to Fleming again. Fleming has a gap and a hole, and he's going to get a good game. He's going to get to about the 15-yard line.
As you say, you said he's under the center of Tim Young. But the safest place you can be on that field is behind Tim Young. A good handoff that time. Going to be a penalty on the Phantoms.
Once again, they're 5-0, Frank, but they can't continue to play like this in terms of the penalties. It's going to kill them when it gets later on in the season, especially in the playoffs.
See big Cameron Wilson pulling that time from his right guard position, coming across and open up the hole there. But all for naught. The hold called.
You see punter Emmanuel Johnson on his feet. That's a good sign.
So first down and 20.
At the 38-yard line. This time Daniels, actually he's back under center. Been in shotgun quite often. Now he goes back out of it. Looks over at the sideline to call the play. Puts Bryant in motion. Now Hargrave goes in motion far side. Daniels goes to right. The bruising running back gets a good gain. Still on his feet. Picks up about, 10 yards on the run.
Good tackle out there by the Bruins because Wright looked like he was picking up that speed. What is the X-Men known as? A juggernaut? Once he gets going,
he just keeps
hard,
moving.
You can't move. Well, that's Daniel Wright's running style. You see him come through the line like this. Watch him pick up speed, and he just bores down.
You remember last year I compared him to Elon Lewis, just the running style. Of course, Elon Lewis 2 years in a row with 2,000 yards.
And he looked like a top with legs, and you couldn't. It was hard to hit, hard to bring down.
Of course, he went on to Virginia Tech, but injury slowed him down and never got a chance to really show what he can do up there. As Fleming gets the carry.
That time, Wright hiding behind Wright. Almost fell down there.
So a huge third down coming up for Phoebus.
Time clicking off. 2:16 to go here in the third quarter. 20-3 Phantoms. 2 late first half touchdowns and a defensive touchdown here in the third. Give the Phantoms their 3 scores. Bruins with a field goal, 6 seconds to go in the first half. All the scoring tonight.
So 3rd and 6. Most likely 4-down territory for Phoebus. And it looks like Coach Blount's going to call a timeout, talk some things over.
So the Phantoms come over and surround their captain, Jeremy Blount, former state champion with the Phantoms. Oh, but look at those. Do we have our other slide on? Yeah, let's do Bethel facts. A little bit about the Bethel Bruins, built in 1968. Another school to handle the overflow of Hampton High and then Kickingham by this time. They'd been open 5 years, I guess, at that time. They've won 3 football championships, 1 with the great Allen Iverson at quarterback and 2 in the 70s.
Mike
guys
Dunn.
like Sean Gale and Jerry Holmes.
That's
and those
right.
guys. You see that group, Todd Kelly, Brian Hubble, the artist. Was he the artist?
Yes.
The musician.
He was the artist.
The artist, yeah. Look him up on the internet, folks. We try to find some alumni that have done things that you don't always hear about.
That's right. And a
Brian
2-time
Hubble's
gold
one of
medalist,
them.
Francina McCrory, also on the list.
Oh my goodness, who's getting ready for the London games in 2000? No, it's not London. Where are they going to be in 2020? But she's already training for that. She told us at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony in August that she's getting ready for her 3rd Olympics.
Yeah, she's going to do it. So 3rd and 6 for Phoebus. Daniels goes to Fleming, and he's stopped in the backfield by Bethel. That's number 32, Jonathan Saunders. He's been all over the field as well.
Played well tonight. Held on to Fleming.
So I assume it's 4-down territory as far as them going for it. So it's going to be 4th and I guess 8. Good play by Saunders.
Saunders is clinging to that pant leg right around the knee and hanging on until he got some help. Hargrave's wondering where he's going to catch the ball. Look for him now. He's got that little green headband sticking out of there. Here he comes right at the camera, number 4. A little green bandana coming out of the back of his helmet.
Daniels in shotgun, 4th and 10. Daniels back to pass, little spin. He's going to step up in the pocket, and it's going to be a completion.
Really good pass. Taquandre Edwards makes the catch.
And they're going to call it a catch. It's going to be a first down.
5'10", 190, but that was a real good pass. Again, threw it where the receiver only could get it, and he stepped up, getting a lot of pressure there, and makes a rocket throw. Beautiful catch. Ball didn't hit, it hit the ground, but it didn't move. It was in his hands.
Man,
no replay here.
This Daniels kid is really impressive. Only a sophomore.
Again, you win a 48-team 7-on-7 tournament. That's a lot of throwing the ball.
I'm sure Hargrave got a lot of those balls. I mean, those two guys together. Of course, Hargrave the junior and Daniels is the sophomore.
Hargrave in motion, and he's going to get the ball
on the sweep. Got some blockers in front of him. He's going to try to reverse field. I don't know why he would do that, but he's got some more room. As Bethel closes in, he's going to get a huge loss.
Well, that didn't work yet.
He had it going the right way.
I'm not sure he could get around the corner, so he was anxious to score, and he just went back and tried to go the other way, but it was not a good idea.
That's going to end the third quarter, 20-3 Phoebus.
Second down and about 23 yards.
Yeah.
Well, that does the third quarter. Phantoms pick up one touchdown in that quarter, and then a 2-point conversion to make their lead 20-3 over the Bethel Bruins. 12 minutes to go here at Darling Stadium on October 6th. And as we've passed the 8 o'clock hour, meaning what? My daughter now is 14 years old.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday to my daughter, Hannah Gray Edgar. Spending her birthday without her father tonight.
I'm sure you'll make up for it
She's
tomorrow.
not with her mother either. She's out with friends. So over watching football in Smithfield, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
With some friends over there.
You did say she had a lot of friends over there. Good
they got a good game. Smithfield and War Hill tonight. Yeah. War Hill that upset Heritage in the first game. Surprised everybody. They're playing pretty well.
Always have a pretty good program over at Smithfield. Of course, Darrell Roberts, I remember him. He was a star player a few years ago. He's actually coaching at Norfolk State right now, the wide receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, the Smithfield Packers.
Yep.
Well, they always hope the wind doesn't blow out of the east, right?
that old Bay Rivers district.
Right. Which is very competitive, although Lafayette's been dominating the last few years.
They have that streak. Of course, Lake Taylor, speaking of district streaks, had their streak snapped last night, losing to Granby, and Lafayette's still rolling. I think they have a 41-game win streak, if I'm
something like that. They've lost a game this year. They lost it to Norcom, I believe, is who they were beat by.
Yes, Norcom did beat them at the Warner Stadium.
Many. They haven't won a state title, though.
They came close a couple years ago, lost in the state. Actually, they made it to two state championship games and lost. 2nd and 21. They're going to run a screen. Right, drops the ball. Had some room. Not sure how far he would have got, though. Bethel kind of sniffed that one out.
So third down now and a long way to go for the Phantoms. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. I bet you there were people in this stadium tonight thought this was going to be a runaway by the Phantoms, and it has not been. The Bruin defense, coupled with some Phantom mistakes, have resulted in this closer than expected game.
You can't take things away, but if you take away that fumble and one of those big plays in the first half, this game's a lot closer than this.
Right.
3rd and 21 from the 29. Daniels in the shotgun. Fleming in the backfield. He's got Hargrave and Edwards near side. He rolls that way. He's going to throw to Hargrave, who catches it, and he's going to have an opportunity to get in the end zone, and he's going to walk in. Touchdown, Phoebus.
Well, walk is a way of saying sprint faster than every human being on the field that time, because he looks like he's playing with them when he gets the ball in the open field like that. Touchdown, Barry Hargrave, his second of the game.
And you see how it bounced off his pads, and
it's almost like it tipped him to himself. You know, he was in the crowd, so he popped it up, ran a little further, and caught it, and off to the races he went. So Barry Hargrave, player of the week.
He can very much get that this week, too.
Anthony Wallace had to kick the extra point here, 26-3 Phoebus, early in the fourth quarter.
As Wallace, they're going to actually go for the extra point here. And
I think the line moved again. I think there's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Phantoms. No, it's encroachment on the Bruins.
They're going to decline.
They don't want to get it too close. Got to give a little bit of an angle. So the Phantoms preparing for the playoffs, trying to develop Anthony Wallace, get him used to kicking. They've relied on kickers for many years at Phoebus. Eric Anderson probably won more games than count.
Oh yeah, especially on his senior year, he was playing kicker and quarterback.
And that's good. Wallace picks up a point, 27-3. Phoebus Phantoms. Here's a play here. You'll see. Hopefully you'll see Hargrave tips it and then catches it.
And you know, and
And Newton has been right there with him all night. That's a little bit of a mismatch, but Newton has played extremely well. That time tipped it up and pushed it away from Newton.
A couple more steps and Newton would have had the pick, but just a couple steps slow. And good instincts by Hargrave to keep his eyes on it and go in the end zone with it.
Not too many guys faster than Barry Hargrave out here tonight.
You know, it's interesting, Frank, how we hear the coaches praise their players, and you don't know if it's just coach talk, but Coach Blount talked about Hargrave last year and said, hey, this is a guy we got to watch out for. Of course, they had great playmakers last year. That, of course, they graduated. Andre Jackson.
Well, kind of overshadowed him.
So this year he is the go-to receiver on offense, and you see why. 2 great plays on offense. He scores, 2 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, and he is now a junior.
Yeah.
You forget some of these guys start so young, and when they play a big part as freshmen, they can disappear behind some of those seniors.
And Daniels is another one, a sophomore, wearing that number 10. As former player, Phoebus player Taj Boyd had an opportunity to wear. Again, Bethel gets good field position.
Still going.
Close to midfield. They're getting good field. Kickoff is not the problem. It's just when they get on offense, they can't move the ball.
Right.
Getting great field position.
So Bethel going to come out. They trail it by 24 points here with 11:32 to go in the 4th. They're going to need to score and score quickly if they're going to get back into this ball game. We may see Coach Beverly open it up even more here.
They're going to have to throw. I mean, they've stuck with Beverly at quarterback. You get a good look at Coach Blount, head coach of the Phantoms.
He looked good. He looked like keeping in good shape. And
you
stress not worrying him too much.
You asked him what his secret was. They have a direct snap to Toussaint. As he gets smacked, they're going to call. It looks like it's going to call a helmet to helmet on that. As you remember, Toussaint got a concussion early in the season against Kickintan.
Toussaint
Good to see him back.
I think it's a hold. The flag went back.
See Coach Dick Van Dyke.
It is a hold on the Bruin offensive line. The flag went above the line and landed back on the 47.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay.
Holding penalties, they kill you, especially on first down.
That ball goes back to the 41-yard line of the Bruins. Now, 1st and 20 for Bethel. Again, I don't have the yardage here, but I think they have more yards going backwards than they do forwards. Not counting special teams, not counting the kickoff return.
Special teams is different. And haven't seen Storm back out there. We hope he's okay.
Again, we're not going to see him tonight. Let that, hopefully just an ankle tweak.
As Beverly's in the backfield. Looks like, was that Saunders in there?
Maybe.
Beverly back to pass. He pump fakes. It's complete.
Pump fake long enough for his receiver to get lined up to get hit. That time, Bethel's number 9, Devontae Robertson. Robertson kind of paid for that one. He had to wait for the ball.
See Beverly pump fake
Pumps
here.
And then throws.
But he had 2 Phantoms all over him as Wilson was there.
Boy, they've been strong. What's Wilson doing way out there? That linebacker. Yeah. We saw how fast he was on that fumble recovery. So here come the Bruins. Picked up a few yards, but 2nd and 15.
46 again, starting in great field position, but they're killing themselves with penalties. Beverly back to pass. He's going to be pressured. He gets out of it.
Well, he's got room now.
And just get closing on. That's
that pretty on his back?
Like 89.
89 for Phoebus. That's Joshua Austin, the sophomore.
Good close by Austin.
Nice to have a sophomore that can do that.
Again, you just marvel at the youth. Some of these players are young and they're making plays. We talked about how Kickintan was doing that last year, and those guys are growing up. It looks like Phoebus and Bethel have the same thing going with these young players making plays.
3rd and 7 for Bethel.
Beverly directing traffic on offense. Phoebus showing blitz. They back out of it. Beverly goes to another slant to Toussaint, incomplete.
Well, there's no room back there at all for the receiver. That time, Toussaint covered behind and ball thrown way over his head. But there's really no room. Both safeties staying home right in the middle of the field. Corners with linebackers dropped in the coverage. There's probably 6 phantoms in the back.
Yeah, I mean, they know that Toussaint's their go-to guy of a receiver. Haven't seen King tonight, who's made some plays early this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Beverly doesn't try some of these young receivers that Phoebus won't recognize or hasn't seen before and let them just fly and see if you can hit them with a pass. He's got to try to do something.
So 4th down. Bethel goes for it here.
Brewington Parker in the backfield, I believe, number 30.
And, looks like an offsides on Phoebus. Gives Bethel 5 more yards.
Officials going to need 5 more flags for next week. They're getting worn down from use tonight.
Actually, looks like Bethel's moving back.
You know, plenty of flags to go around. It is Bethel that got caught with the moving. Every yard forward, 2 yards back for the Bruins tonight. I think our camera's been on Jim Mayhew longer than anybody as we try to figure out what there's got to be at least 18 penalties tonight.
Sent his check in the mail as well for his work tonight for us.
I think even Vivian, who's shooting with digital photos, is starting to tire. She's into her 3rd card.
So Bethel calls timeout. Down 27-3, 9:16 left in the 4th quarter.
Well, the game was tight for a long time. I know Coach Beverly probably very pleased with how things were going up to the last couple minutes of the first half, and still not too upset going into the locker room. Down 12-3. Second half, his team has done nothing offensively except go backwards and make a mistake that cost them a touchdown. The Phantoms aren't exactly walloping anybody on offense tonight, but they've made a couple of good plays and then some defensive plays as well.
Defensive plays, and you know, one thing that Coach Beverly can have a positive spin on things, special teams.
Yeah.
I mean, kickoffs, Ethan Larson with a field goal. I mean, they've had great field position on most of their drives with Toussaint, Storm, and on their last run back by Saunders. They had great field position. Like you said, Frank, the penalties just push them back, and they just get in tough situations.
Well, they can't get going.
Yeah.
Can't get no momentum going forward.
Right, and Beverly is putting us in a tough situation. You know, 2nd and long, 3rd and long. They're not able to convert on those. So Ethan Larson, the soccer player, back to punt for Bethel.
He's a soccer player. Even his legs getting tired tonight.
And it's going to be blocked by Phoebus. You can't return this in high school, can you? I think you can. I guess you can.
Yeah.
It's going to be picked up by Phoebus, and it's going to be a flag on the play as well.
I'm not sure it's not a face mask back here on the tackle. It's hard to tell. I just saw the guy who picked the ball up have his head pulled back.
Go Larson, I guess Larson thought he was on the soccer field. He waited too long to kick it. And is that Wilson again?
And then watch to see what's going on.
Oh, he's not getting in that. And then
Phantoms number 26, Brandon Ward. No, it wasn't a face mask.
So Wilson got the block. Kareem Wilson.
During the return,
5'11" senior.
Against Phoebus, 10-yard penalty brings up a 1st down.
Oh, the holding on the run back, so they retain possession on the block punt.
And Mr. Mayhew again gets some camera time.
Yeah, he's going to owe us for all this time. What do we charge per 3-minute segment there? You see our LSC banner up there in the press box. Wu Bei waving his hands. Stands it cleared out a little bit. As the lead is stretched to 27-3.
You see
good
Purdy.
Shot of Juan Purdy.
He's been all over the field tonight.
There comes Chris Daniels and his crew out.
So Phoebus starts at the 30 after the block punt. They go back to that bunch formation. Looks like it's a rugby style. Time he fakes it to Fleming. He's going to go back to pass. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for Wilson, who's been all over the field. Just blocked the punt. He's been on defense, special teams.
Kareem Wilson. Thank goodness. No wonder he's not listed in any particular play, any particular position.
They call that an athlete, I guess.
Yeah, he's done a great job tonight all around. Kareem Wilson is listed as a starter as a linebacker. That's where he comes in, but he's had quite a game tonight.
You know, Kareem Wilson, another one of those guys that took a back seat. You remember Peyton Ryder last year for Phoebus, transferred to Christ Church. So now Kareem Wilson is their lead linebacker. As Daniels under center. Goes to right. Right, not much room.
Nothing there for Daniels. So third down.
Jamel Dennis makes the tackle.
So not a lot of yards for the Phantoms tonight either, really, in the grand scheme of things. Nobody really outstanding on. Certainly the rushing hasn't been Phoebus-like.
You thought you'd see more. You're right, more rushing.
Kind of helter-skelter tonight on offense for the Phantoms.
Still think Daniels is the key. He's looked good so far on the rollouts and the deep passes. And that's, I thought it'd be a flag.
Yeah,
no flag. They let him play.
Jackson Griffiths mauls the running back, Edwards. Excuse me, Fleming. Daquan Fleming. A flag on that somewhere in there. Personal foul on that. I'm not sure about that. It looked like a tackle to me, but
you got Jackson Griffith on the.
Griffith's trying to figure out why. He grabbed him and he put him down. It was a tackle. You're holding him on up high. You have a right to take him to the ground. Maybe he rolled him over one too many times.
After the play, personal foul.
A very closely called game tonight.
15-yard penalty.
Well, Coach Beverly talked about him being a throwback player.
Well, he threw him back that time and got 15-yard penalty called on himself. Very questionable call. Very close call. Let's say it that. They've been watching that kind of play in football, and Coach Beverly's going to talk to Griffiths on the sideline. So 1st and 10 for the Phantoms inside the Bruin 20. Big Tim Young is inside the 20. Chris Daniels trying to get everybody lined up correctly for his Phantoms.
So it's a pitch to Fleming. Fleming tries to get out of it and gets knocked down to the ground.
And to be honest, I'm surprised there wasn't a flag on somebody on that play. Bruins number 9, Dan Devontae Robertson. A high snap and then a high pitch.
Bruin on the field again, and good athletic play by Fleming to just grab it.
Well, you certainly don't do your teammates any favor when you lob that ball.
So
you don't do your teammate any favor by throwing the ball, lobbing the ball that high.
And just heard a Gloucester score 42-0 over Warwick.
Does Warwick have a win this year though?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they beat beat Minchville.
Okay.
But
which has 2 wins. There we are.
There we are.
Yeah. Thanks to Wu Bay to get that banner hung up for us.
As you see us up in the booth.
Thanks to our great crew. They've done a terrific job getting us ready here and putting on this show. Annie Foley, of course, the leader of the crew. Renee Camden, Krista Campbell, Matt Buckwalter, my nephew there, doing a great job. Glad to see Matt back this week. Randy Bagoli, his son Alex, working. Randy doing the sound, Alex doing another camera down the field. Nathaniel Braxton and Susan Bowers up here, up high, and Steve Fryer, the veteran cameraman, down on the field tonight. So far, Steve okay tonight.
Steve looks good down there.
Yep. Good pictures. There he is.
Picture. Part-time soccer coach as well, as he coaches his son's team on the Phillips Association.
Yeah,
doing a great job.
He's holding one thumb up. That's how many wins he's gotten in that 20-game season, but we know he's going to get better.
So he spends his Saturday afternoons at Gosnell Hope Park, and he spends his Friday nights with us.
That's good. Yeah, we're going to need him next Saturday, 2 o'clock. Hampton High School and Phoebus High School meet right here at Darlin Stadium. Come on out for the ball game. Gates will open, I would imagine, about 12:30 for the 2 o'clock game.
2nd and 8 from the 18. Daniels under center. Bethel showing blitz this time. Looks like Phoebus might have jumped.
I think from now on, we're just going to call it when there is no flag. Let's just say that when there's no flag, we'll be able to say there's no flag on that play, and it'll be a rarity. 5 more yards against the Phantoms. I don't know if there's ever been a game where there's been 0 yards on both teams.
What, as far as penalties? Yeah.
I'm talking about 0 as far as if you net the total yards going forward and the total yards going backwards, if there's been a 0 for both teams, but we're bound to be getting close.
Yeah.
Phantoms have some good defensive yards tonight. They may have more defensive yards than they have offensive. That long pass may be the difference. So 2nd and 12 now for the Phantoms.
Daniels back to pass. A little pressure. Gets out of the pressure. Goes deep in the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Bethel. Good play.
Great defense down there as the defensive back just keeps his mind, keeps his eye on the ball.
And I'm not really sure who.
Couldn't see the number,
Newton. Might have been Newton.
So didn't see it. We'll play it again.
I think it might have been
Newton
Salton Williams or Newton. One of them were there.
He would have earned it. By the cornerback in the back there.
Oh, good stop and go by Phoebus. As Salton Williams had to go back and catch him, and he's the one who made the interception.
Nice tip,
good tip. Nice play.
So Salton Williams, a senior, gets a little revenge and makes the pick.
Oh, good to see Storm back in the game as you see him.
Number 4
yeah.
for the Bruins. Sure he's got plenty of tape on that leg.
Beverly back to pass. A pitch to Bruins and Parker. He's helicopter tackled, as we used to say.
Just no room out there. The Phantom corners closing that down. Nothing doing for the Bruins. 2nd down. And they lost 2 yards. So all the effort goes into these losing the yards.
Still wonder if maybe they should try to go downfield with Toussaint.
I got to mention, we haven't seen the Daily Press's Kate Yanchulas here tonight, which means one of 2 things. She's covered another game, or she's home watching the Nationals. Her beloved Washington Nationals play baseball tonight. I hope they win just for Kate's sake, and thank Kate for all the support of this broadcast she gives us.
Helps us tremendously. Beverly hands off to Bruins and Parker again. Still no downfield action for Bethel yet.
I'm going to say no loss on that play. 3rd down and 12 for the Bruins. Clock running under 6 minutes now. 27-3 Phantoms in a score really that belies what a sloppy game it was.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way to say it. I don't think either coach is going to be satisfied about this game.
Not at all. I mean, obviously Phoebus will take the win.
He'll be less dissatisfied.
Yeah, right. But in terms of moving on the rest of the season, the penalties have to be cleaned up, and I know, I'm for sure. I know that Coach Blount knows that.
For Coach Beverly, I know he'd like to see just a scoring drive here to end the game.
Beverly back to pass. It's going to be complete to Storm out of the backfield as he tries to get the first down. He's going to be a little short.
Good throw.
Good throw
catch
by Beverly, yes.
Good pick of about 10 yards, but not enough for the first down.
As Bethel's going to punt and bring Larson back in.
Wilson gets his number called again. I think we know the player of the game tonight.
Either him or Purdy, one of the 2.
So 4th down with 4 minutes to go, and they're down 24 points. They're going to punt the ball. Larson going to have to move a little quicker this time. High snap makes it hard.
Good punt. Fair catch called for Phoebus.
So the Phantoms take over their own 48-yard line with a 24-point lead, and under 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
See if they still stick with Daniels. I assume they would, but
you may want to try somebody out. Let's see what he does. No, Daniels waiting for this play. Chris Daniels, 5'9", 175-pound sophomore quarterback. Going to pick up his 6th win on the season in 6 tries. And bring his Phantoms into next Saturday's game between the two 6-0 teams, Hampton and Phoebus. That should be a Donnybrook.
It's going to be a great game, just like the hype of last year. Of course, Hampton went on to win, I guess it was 44-0 last year, but I think it'll be a little closer this year. No Daz Newsome popping out of here, so we'll see what happens next week. As Hargrave goes in motion, they fake to Hargrave and they give to Fleming.
Well, Fleming's taking a beating tonight, but he picks up about 4 yards of that run. He usually comes up with positive yardage. Senior brings it up over the 50-yard line down to the 48 of the Bruins. Second down. Clock's going to run as the ball is being run. There's Tim Young at the end of the bench. Get a sight of him. Surprised the bench isn't tilted up.
You said that's what 6'4", 300 looks like, huh?
I'll tell you, when he goes in the cafeteria, people probably run screaming, and that's the staff.
2nd and 6 from the 48. Bethel showing blitz. Daniels in the shotgun. Goes to Fleming. Maybe 3 on the carry.
Good defense by the Bruins, but maybe a little too late. They played decent. They gave up 1 defensive touchdown, so there's been 3 offensive scores.
Bethel had the opportunities. Again, I keep talking about that first play from scrimmage. They got a fumble. They were on the Phoebus 30-yard line and couldn't convert. They fumbled actually on the next play.
Yeah. Bethel's going to call timeout.
But you know, not scoring a touchdown in 2 games now. You know, they have to find a way to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
And they have Woodside next week coming here on homecoming.
This could be a tough ball game because Woodside generally brings in a large group of human beings, especially in the lines.
Yes, they do.
And Northern Newport News District brings, and I think they picked out the heaviest part of the city. And they get some big boys up there on that line, and they play that funky offense.
Almost like a veer wing tee.
Wing tee, look, yeah, very old-fashioned, but hard to defend unless you're ready for it.
Coach Danny Dotson.
Had a very successful career up there at Woodside. Never got his team over the top. Never got him to a state championship.
They went to the region championship, I guess, a few years ago when they lost to Oscar Smith. And a blitz by Bethel, and they get to Daniels.
Now's when you think you're risking the health of the sophomore quarterback. When you see a play like that. Timeout called by Bethel again. And it's good to see Coach Beverly wants another shot at the end zone.
You see Bruins and Parker on the blitz.
Well, he's trying to pay back some of these guys that have been hitting him in the backfield. He's had very little running room tonight.
Well, that's the art of high school football. A lot of these guys play both ways. So if you get hit on offense, you come back on defense and do the same thing to them. So
4th and 13 for the Phantoms. And they're going to have to punt the ball. And the question always, do they have a punter? We've seen there one punter come out early and then was injured.
Yeah, Emmanuel Johnson. He looks like he's okay. They're going to bring another punter in, though. It's going to be Brandon Ward back there to punt for Phoebus.
5'9", 175-pound senior. Ward wearing number 26.
There's
There he
Toussaint
is.
Deep for Bethel to receive the punt. Not much pressure from Bethel as the ball bounces, and Toussaint's not going to pick it up, and it's going to take a Phoebus bounce.
Good punt. Put it down in about the 17-yard line for the Bruins. They got a long field to go and 2 minutes, 34 seconds to do it.
But I agree with you. I think Coach Beverly would love to have a nice drive here to end the game.
Said he wanted to finish. Let's see what he can do here to finish. Well, you see the Bethel cheerleaders still lined up over there, including our friend Cameron Sullivan, the sophomore cheerleader, and that crew over there that works so hard. There's the trainer for Phoebus. He's out here getting the young men ready to go in the game. She was out actually when the Bruin player was hurt earlier tonight.
It's good to see her help everybody out here. They all work together, the athletic trainers. Beverly in the shotgun. Goes to Bruins and Parker, who gets maybe a yard.
Same guy that he tackled a minute ago. Maybe got a hold of him now. So the clock's going to run now. Bethel apparently going to run this thing out a little bit. 27-3, not quite the score I thought. And then, of course, I don't know what Katie picked for tonight. Do you remember? It was 40-7 or 42-7, something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not sure we've seen any team. We've seen all 4 Hampton teams now. I don't think there's a Mike Husted kicker on any of the squads.
I mean, Larson's the closest to that.
He's one of the only one we've seen kick an extra point in, or maybe one of 2.
Kicked a field goal today.
Only field goal we've seen in all the games we've done.
Beverly back to pass. He gets Storm on a slant route. Storm with a good pickup on the catch after the catch.
And he falls forward. First down. Clock's going to stop while they move the sticks. Again, Bethel wants to finish. They're not going to win this game, but they want to finish. Storm with more pink tape on one ankle probably now, or knee. It looks like got a little under that right knee.
Yeah. Probably when he went down earlier. As you can see a replay here. There's Beverly with a good throw. Storm went down to get it.
Great catch, yeah. And the Phantom number 22, Corey Wilson. Lots of Wilsons out there for Phoebus, and all playing well tonight.
Beverly back to pass again. Has some pressure. He steps out of it, tries to get out of it, but.
Well, we need to decide on our players of the game. For Phantom, what do you think? Kareem Wilson with the pickup?
I will go with Kareem Wilson. He had a block punt, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, has a lot of tackles on defense.
And he played some offense.
He does
a little bit of everything.
Before that I would have said Purdy, but I'm gonna go with Kareem Wilson.
Well, I'll join you on that. Purdy had a very good first half. Hadn't heard much of him in the second, but they've maybe running away from him. Or for the Bethel Bruins tonight, it's been a tough night.
Yeah.
I think we had Marcus King play real well last time we saw him, and he hadn't really touched the ball tonight.
And I always just take the safe bet and go with Storm. He's always a good.
Well, Storm has been their only offensive threat tonight, and even when he was injured, he's gotten that. So, Kashawn Storm, the 5'11" senior, number 4, is our player of the game for the Bruins.
So the clock's going to run out here. As Bethel will drop to 2-5 on the season, and of course Phoebus will go to 6-0 as the big game, the game of the year looms next Saturday, Hampton versus Phoebus.
Well, fans, I hope you'll join us next Saturday. The clock comes to an end here. It's final score 27-3, Phoebus over the Bethel Bruins. A very sloppy game, one both coaches are going to look at all week long. I hope you'll look at our film on LSC 48 and on Verizon 5's channel 23, right?
23, yep.
So join us there. Now, next week, 2 o'clock ball game right here. The Hampton Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms, 2 6-0 teams come in. Somebody's going to walk out of here with a loss. Which teams are going to be, we'll see next week. Hope you come and join us. Thanks to the crew to put on this great game for us. Thanks to the coaches for allowing us to interview them before the game, taking them out of their routine. There, the coaches shake hands. I want to thank my partner up here, Wube Gabre, and our halftime guest.
Yes.
And Anthony Rob Robinson of Phoebus.
And next week, special guest.
Special guest next week.
We won't say who it is right now, but special guest next week.
Yeah, well, you'll enjoy it. So catch us next week. We'll go on the air the game starts here at 2. We'll be on the air the following week, but catch us then. Thanks for everybody. Good night from Darling Stadium. Final score, Phoebus Phantoms 27, the Bethel Bruins 3.